What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Cris
Yeah, Mo.
podcast, episode 189, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day. Whatever you're doing, you're at home, you're at work, whatever you're doing, we appreciate y'all tapping into our live stream. Appreciate y'all. If you're listening on the playback, put a comment in the comment section. We appreciate y'all too. Got a lot of things to talk about. NFL preseason week 1 happened. We're going to talk about some NBA stuff. Trae Young possibly due for extension. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to do our fantasy league draft order today. Maul's going to do that, and some other things we're going to talk about. Before we get into that, Maul, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. Good little weekend. Had a little extra day off, man. Much needed for sure. Um, can't complain, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain myself, brother. It's my off day. That's all that matters to me. So, yeah, I'm doing good. So, all right, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it. Man. Preseason week 1 finally here, man. You know, I know it's preseason. People like this ain't real football, but the football nerds like us, we just
Mm-hmm.
love football, man, and we
Yep.
just like the guys getting on the field. Whatever resemblance that we can get, I don't care if it is the backups or the fourth string guys, we tuning in because football is back. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, what was your overall feeling of the preseason, man? How did you feel before we get into like detailed individual players? Just your overall perspective of how you felt about week 1 preseason.
Oh man, it's just exciting to have football back. You know, what I mean, I know we're heading through those little lulls, man. Ever since the NBA Finals have been over with, where if you're not a baseball fan, if you're not a golf fan, if you're not, into soccer, anything like that, like it's been kind of like some slow doldrums with watching sports. This would have gave you the opportunity if you want to catch up on shows, go watch some movies you haven't seen. This is the perfect time to go do so, but man, it was just a great thing, man, to see football back. You kind of feel the energy. We're kind of gearing up to week 1, which is pretty much like a holiday weekend for a lot of us sports fans. You know what I mean? Where get that slate. Which is going to be a great slate of week 1 games. So it's just the overall just excitement. Especially excited to see some of these younger talented guys, especially for our respective teams. I know there's a lot of young guys we definitely want to see and just take the temperature on if they're able to make it on that field one day. You know what I mean? So and then obviously certain highlighted players that we've all followed throughout their college careers and seeing how they produce, even though it's just week 1, how they produce and how they look, and do they have that feel like they should be on the NFL team. I think it's an exciting time for a lot of fan bases and a lot of hope. You know what I mean? Everybody believes that they have a chance to become a winner, or be a team that they feel like they can be destined to be, and before a lot of dreams get crushed by the end of September. So it's just an overall exciting feeling, man. What about you?
Yeah, I felt the same way, man. It's just good to see the fellas get back on the field, regardless of what team is out there. And like you said, me and you, we actually follow college football, so it's good to see some of these young guys that we've been following to get out there and see what they look like the week 1. What they've been working with in practice and training camp and all that good stuff, and put it on the field, man. And it was a lot of good stuff to see out there. Some bad too, but some good stuff out there too. So it was good to see that, man. But let's go ahead and get to Brax Tax, man.
Mhm.
We know who everybody was looking at this weekend, and that was Shador Sanders, man. And they went against the Carolina Panthers. By the way, Bryce Young was really good. I'm telling y'all, the Panthers are going to be a sleeper this year. Don't be surprised if they're a wild card this year. You know what I'm saying? Because they look really good. Ted McMillan looked like he's fitting in with that offense. And Leggett, he got to work on the other hands instead of his boxing hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to chill out with that, man, for real.
Don't want to break your hands, man. Don't break your hands. But outside of that, but Shador Sanders, he looked amazing. He did his thing, man. He came out there with he played with the twos and the threes and some of the fours, and he looked poised in the pocket. He looked like he had command of the offense, even though he didn't have a lot of reps. He looked like he had been getting reps all training camp, and
Hmm.
he looked like he rose to the occasion. All the eyes were on him. We've seen so many times that young guys, even if we're rooting for them or we don't believe that they are who people think they are, we've seen guys like that fold. in preseason and have bad games, throw all kinds of picks and all kinds of stuff. He looked the total opposite of that. He looked
Mhm.
like he has been here before. He looked like a savvy veteran. That's what he looked like. Some of the throws he was making, some of the commands at the line. Dan Orlovsky was bringing it down on first take, or how he was checking stuff off and telling the receiver, "Oh, there's no blitz. Don't worry about it." Like stuff like that. Just the little things that you know you can only get that with reps. For him to get that and him just getting the mental reps, that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you playing against. Those guys are trying to make the roster spots too. So that makes them even more hungry to go after. If I get Shador Sanders up out of here, dog, I can make a name for myself. So
Mhm.
he was out there just willing and dealing, out there playing with guys that we ain't never heard of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and no disrespect for those fellas. I hope they go out there and I hope they make a name for themselves. So maybe years from now we could talk about, hey, remember that guy? He was the one that was with Shador Sanders in that preseason game. So I'm not disrespecting those guys, but let's just be real. Nobody knew who most of these guys were on the field with Shador Sanders. So I was highly impressed. It was nothing really surprising as far as, we knew. Me and Maul know this is Shador. This is why we said he should have been a first round pick. He should have been off the board in the first round. And if this continues, there's going to be a lot of teams and owners that's going to look stupid that need a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I was happy for Shador. I was glad that he went out there and show out. You saw the crowd. It's funny. The cameraman, every time Shador would do something, they pan to a black dude.
No, they really did. They were really, yeah. They were yeah. They were out. They were out in
But
Stadium.
it was still a good look to see all the support he had and everybody cheering for him. So it was just good that he went out there and showed and proved. And I know he's going to continue to do that. So I was happy. I was happy for that.
No, I was we talked about it before the game even kicked off, man. It was like I had like a healthy nervousness
Of
because
course.
I wanted him to produce so bad because I just think he gets scrutinized to a degree where it's just not healthy. I think, you know what I mean. I think we had this conversation, I think before, where it's just like I think he's getting scrutinized like he's a number one pick. It's kind of like the same situation as like Bronny James to a degree, man. These two young um, black men who have done nothing but been extraordinary within the community, have been extraordinary teammates, extraordinary people from everything that we have seen. You can tell by just how their teammates respond to them and all that. Like Shador Sanders has been a leader once he's walked into that locker room. You see what he has done within that Cleveland community. You see how you just see the excitement. Like, look, if you looked at David Njoku, it looked like he found his future, like he found his love. You know what I mean? This man was ear to ear grinning, smiling. Like, when's the last time you saw Njoku smile like that on the sideline? Like, come on, man. Like, this man is looking at him with endearment. And I know there's been kind of like this conversation where, you saw Dan Orlovsky, you saw a couple other people where they think the conversation of him being sabotaged is kind of like dumb and it's not warranted. I highly disagree with that. Like, I think there could be a balance between two. Like, yes, he does have an opportunity that he still needs to grasp and have control over and produce. That is correct. But at the end of the day, we can all agree that this man has been giving some hardships early in his career, whether it's being drafted in his spot, whether it's you having four other quarterbacks who you continuously try to put over him, you signing other quarterbacks that make no sense. Like, you not allowing him to play with the twos or the threes. You got him throwing with equipment managers, if that was true or not. You know what I mean? But yet he goes out there and you know what he does? He's out there. He's the first one at practice. He's the last one at practice. He's still getting work. He's still putting his time in. And he showed on Saturday, even though it's just one preseason game, that he belongs on the NFL field, that he's a quality starting quarterback, that he has enough athletic ability, that he has, as me and Cris have always stated, he's probably the most accurate ball placer in this draft. Like, he throws the most accurate ball. And then people need to remember themselves that the talent that Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter was around them when they went to the Colorado Buffaloes was low grade tier. Like, it wasn't the most high tier teammates around him, and that's no disrespect to anybody that was playing with them, especially that first year. like they took that team to respectability. Like he went through a lot of punishment and yet he still produced. Yet he still had that team competing for an actual playoff spot, which we all said if they win that Kansas game, they're in the playoffs. So, and with that talent and going up against the talent that they have, they were really pretty much turning that program around with just them two, and they were able to successfully do that. People forget that. So now you put Shador Sanders with the talent that he has now, like he's playing with people that play on NFL. So what do you think he's going to do with actual real talent around him? With the actual decent O line, with an actual decent running back, with some real receivers? Like, what do you think Shador is going to do with that? Like, he's going to look amazing when he actually plays with the ones. Like, you can imagine what he's going to be. Now, I'm not saying he's going to turn into the next Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, but I think he can be a quality starting quarterback. What's the difference between him and Geno Smith?
Yeah.
It's really nothing. It's really nothing. They're pretty much a low-key the same player. You might want to say Shador might throw the ball a little bit more accurate than Geno, but I know Geno gets a lot of hate just because of what he went through with the New York Jets. But come on, look at the statistics. Geno Smith is a quality starting quarterback who we've seen the likes of a Joe Flacco win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying Geno's going to win the Super Bowl, but he has the capabilities to do it if everything hits correctly, if he has the proper surrounding talent around him. It's the same with Shador Sanders. I think he can be Geno, maybe even better, because I think he's ready for the moment. He's been prepped by Dion, by his father, who has been through the same noise, who's been through the same fires, maybe in different positions, but it's the same thing that he's going through. A lot of light gets put on Shador Sanders for unfair reasons, but he's a gravitational personality that people want to either root for, like die hard, or they're going to find ways to just hate. So, and then, sorry to be long-winded, and then you also saw the maturity within him when he approached the Cleveland Browns reporter at the end of the game. I forgot my man's name's like Tony something like that, who I guess who's been on him consistently. Yes. And then you just kind of even saw the interaction with him, how he handled that so maturely. So what more do you need from a starting quarterback? What more do you need for a representation of your team? That person right there, any franchise or any fan base would be proud to have him to be part of his team. And I don't think there's no questions about it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you just said, man. Like I said, we both knew Shador Sanders could elevate into this league, and we all had a first round grade on him. We saw it in Colorado. I know a lot of people like, oh, he didn't play against nobody, but at the end of the day, we forget Shador Sanders didn't have the greatest of O-line. It was better than what it was his first year at Colorado, but it still wasn't the greatest. He didn't have a running game. He had a slew of receivers, which shout out to Weister and John. What's the other kid's name? I forgot all they know. But all the receivers that got drafted from Colorado had a good weekend. One of them scored on my team. So it scored on my man Najee Johnson. Shout out to Najee, but you got scored on player. But what's the name? Xavier Weather, whatever his name is, Weber. Yeah, man. I just think that Shador Sanders, the sky's the limit, and I think he has the work ethic. He got it from his father. I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And you know what, Stefanski and Andrew Berry, if he has another good game this weekend, you got to name him the starter.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, because that fan base is going to be rabid if y'all don't. Yeah. If he goes out there and balls out again, and y'all name Joe Flacco as your starter, that fan base is gonna be rabid. Because at the end of the day, what Joe Flacco gonna do? He gonna sit his butt right on that bench with the clipboard and help out Shador Sanders. Even if he doesn't help, he gonna sit on that bench, and you use him as an insurance policy just in case Shador, maybe, God forbid he gets hurt or anything like that. You have somebody to fall back on, Joe Flacco. So I personally think that if he balls out again this weekend, I think they play the Packers this weekend or somebody. I forgot what they play this weekend. But if he balls out this weekend, then you have to name him the starter. I'm sorry, and let him go out there with the ones.
He's earned that right. And at the end of the day, like, they're gonna have to take long, hard looks with Dillon Gabriel. He's gonna need his fair chance. This is not all about Shador. Like, we are big fans of Shador, but I think even Dillon Gabriel has been done some disservice as well, because it's hard when you have two rookies who are trying to fight for a spot to make a team, and you're gonna have to pick one. You know what I mean? You're going to have to give one to give reps. Now, Dylan Gabriel's on. He has some catching up to do because he has this hamstring injury. A lot of people are already on the Shador Sanders. Like the entire fan base wants Shador Sanders. So Dylan Gabriel's already on the back ball with a lot of the fans. A lot of fans didn't want him. So and now with this hamstring injury, and now with the performance with Shador Sanders, he has a lot of pressure going into this second game. He needs to perform. He needs to look well, and he needs that consistency. Like I know he's been kind of inconsistent in the practices so far. I think he had a pretty good day today, but the game two is going to say a lot. I'm going to be very curious to see how the pecking order goes. If they're even going to allow Joe Flacco. That's another thing I'm curious if they're going to allow Joe Flacco to play any of these preseason games. I'm assuming they will, but it seems like they already have their mindset that he is the starter. So wouldn't it just be beneficial to just literally just play Shador, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel just to figure out who's going to be obviously with Dylan and Shador, the future, but as far as like the solid backup going into the season, like I think that would make more sense, especially with all the quarterbacks that they have on the squad.
Personally, I think that, yeah, you play Shador, but you need to figure out who you're going to keep. Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel. That's what you need to do. You need to figure out. You can't keep all four of these guys. Send Kenny Pickett off somewhere else. He could be a backup, some other team. He's a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to pick up Kenny Pickett. And I'm not to say that nobody's going to pick up Dylan Gabriel, but you spend a third round pick on the kid. You know what I'm saying? You got to do everything in your house, even if you don't see him as a future starter in this league or whatever. You still got to figure out a way to keep this kid on your roster, because that's a waste of a third round pick at the end of the day. Because I don't think, unless he just balls out in preseason, I don't think you can get from anything for him right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has the value. And then it's already been, I don't want to say a smear campaign, but it hasn't been glowing reviews in practice when he's out there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true.
You got to showcase him to show that he's got some value. So if you're going to try to trade him or anything like that, that you might need to put him out there. I know he's hurt, but you got to hopefully he gets healthy this week. But you got to figure out a way to get him out there so you can get some type of value for him if you're going to let him go and keep the two veterans with Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
So we'll see, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
Other players, man, of course, number one overall pick, Cam Ward. He had a pretty solid game. He was 5 for 8, 67 yards. He orchestrated 11-play, 65-yard drive, 65-yard touchdown drive, capped by a 27-yard connection with Calvin Ridley. He looked pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Cam looks like he's going to be really good. You know how I feel about Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is a beast. His arm talent is crazy. And I think him and Calvin Ridley are going to do some special things this season. I'm excited for Cam Ward. What's your thoughts?
No, I'm excited for Cam. I know maybe it's not. I know a lot of people, they expect like him to have this kind of performance, like maybe what Shador had, or maybe I know which we're going to probably talk about, Jackson Dart. But I thought he looked good. You know what I mean? I think he's just trying to get his bearings. I think a lot has been thrown at him compared to maybe what Shador Sanders has gone through and stuff like that. I know there's been a lot of reports of they're throwing the whole ringer at him so he can get ready for actual live playing games. So maybe he just might be maybe a little mentally burnt out. You know what I mean? Where it's just might be too much. Where maybe he's just still trying to process stuff. But I think Cam Ward will be fine. He's super ultra talented. Again, the excitement around that whole team. You even saw from Calvin Ridley, he even talked about it, just the overall relief of them having a quality quarterback like that. Which, if I'm Will Levis, you gotta, like, I know they don't care, but if you're Will Levis, you're gonna be a little burned by that. But at the end of the day, I think Titans fans should be really excited for the future of that team and the quality of that team. They have some real talent on that team. They do. Now, it's going to take them a couple years. We're not expecting them to have a playoff run or anything like that. But I think they can be one of those teams that might get a couple surprising wins and stuff like that, just based on Cam Ward and his ability to drive the football down the field.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tough out this year because their defense has always been solid. It's just, the offensive side. So,
yeah.
Jackson Dart. Now, you know how we felt about Mr. Jackson Dart, but I have to give love when love is due.
Yeah.
My man balled out.
Yeah.
He did his thing on Saturday, man. 12 of 19, 154 yards, and he had a long touchdown drive that he threw down the field. hey man, I think Russ looked good too, but hey man, I could have been wrong about Jackson Dart, man. I might have been wrong. You know what I'm saying? We still got to see some more games, but he looked poised, he looked confident, he was pushing the ball down the field, and hey man, they might have their quarterback in the future. We'll see, but they might have made a good pick this time, and Dayball might be able to keep his job.
Nah. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be fair, man. Like the same hype and praise I'm gonna give to Shador. You got to give it to Jackson Dart at least from what you've seen. Like, you know, what I mean, for him to be able to throw, 12 for 19, 154 with one TD, he had a rating of a 106. Like, what more can you be mad about that? I think if you're a Giants fan, you got to be pretty excited. You know what I mean? Now, does that make I think the question is now, does that shorten the lease on Russell Wilson? And we all assume that he's definitely going to be the starter going into week 1. But, with this fan base and how much they want to get back to just being relative again. And my God, not to get off of Jackson Dart, but that D line of the Giants is going to be so nasty. Bro, he went up against Deion Dawkins. Let's remind you who Deion Dawkins is. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler who is he's very, very good. And Abdul Carter. Oh my God. Like, bro, I know this might be a little early, but their D line has a lot of similarities to those championship D lines, man, that they have. And they have a rotation of guys. That defensive line might be the best in the league. It might be, and it might be competing with the Rams, which I love the Rams D line.
Yeah, Eagles.
Obviously, you love the Eagles D line. I like the Chiefs D line as well too. But I like it. It's a lot with Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is one of the main factors in why you like that D line.
Not what I saw, son. Not what I saw.
But that just shows you. But I'm being honest with you. That just shows you how special Chris Jones is. That's just the reality of the situation. Like, for some reason, your D line is always good because of Chris Jones. So you have to put them up there just based on him. Now, talent wise, like it's no comparison. Like Eagles, Rams, and this, like oh my God, like the Giants, that defense might be legit. You know what I mean? So with that, and you got the addition of Jackson Dart, I know Malik Neighbors. Like, look, Malik Neighbors, bro, he's happy. You know what I mean? Tracy Jr., he's happy. So this team might surprise a lot of people, man. It really might, man. I think if you're a Giants fan, you got to be nothing but excited.
Most definitely. You got to be. Shout out to my boy Stan and my guy Vince and all them, Giants fans.
Hey, sorry, brother. I know we talked a lot of mess about your team, but hey, our bad, Joel. Hey, our bad, Joel.
We gonna play. We got to play them this year, dog.
Hey.
I'm happy. We got a solid. I'm happy. We gonna talk about my first round pick. I'm happy we got him.
Hey. Our bad. It might be our bad right now. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna own up to it. Great start to week 1, man, for y'all, man, for sure.
Another quarterback that we have talked about got picked in the second round, Tyler Shook. He got picked by the New Orleans Saints. He didn't start off too good. He got a pick 6, but then he came back. He bounced back. He was 5 of 22, 165 yards, even threw a touchdown.
Yeah.
Had a solid outing. You know what I'm saying? He you could tell that throw a pick 6 that can ruin your mentals. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good showing to see him go out there and shake it off and orchestrate a drive right after that pick 6 and get a touchdown drive. So, I got to give him props for that. You know what I'm saying? I can't, I know how we feel. Like, we don't think that he was worthy of that second round pick, but I got to show love when love is due. And if you erase a pick, quarterback's going to throw interceptions. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no quarterback. I don't care who you are, from Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow to the worst quarterback. Y'all going to throw some picks. But it's what you do after the pick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you go into a mental low and you're like, and then you throw another pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he didn't do that. He went back out there, orchestrated a drive, and got a touchdown. And he's got a hell of an arm. I'll give you that. The kid got an arm. So we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Orleans Saints fans. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I saw your timeline after the Shador Sanders stuff. Y'all said, let's go. Better have an MVP night. So I don't know how y'all feel, but we'll see. The kid definitely got talent. We just gotta see it some more.
They still feel the same way. They still feel the same. Like, look, at the end of the day, Tyler Shook, like, yeah, he threw a bad ball, pick six. But again, man, with just his experience, you know what I mean? He is an older quarterback being a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
That's you kind of would expect that. You would kind of would expect him to be able to just, shrug it off and be able to bounce back, which he did. At the end of the day, I like the thing with Tyler Shook is we got to judge him on the second round pick. We have to.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be fair because we both believe he shouldn't have gone that high. I think he should have probably gone around maybe the fourth or fifth round, kind of like where Shador Sanders at. That's where I kind of assumed where he should have been at because I just don't know how much better he can get with his age. Not saying he can't get better, but again, with some of the injuries and just, how long he's been in college football, you kind of would expect him to be able to perform well in the preseason. But look, Saints fans are always going to be upset with Shador. As long as Shador is producing, like that was your future. That was your star. Like especially within that community, that's the community that you would kind of want, Shador Sanders to be involved with because it would have been big time for them. And they would have had a lot of hype. But at the end of the day, man, you got to tip your cap off to Shador and not Shador, but Tyler Shook. And he performed pretty well. 15, 22, 165, 1 TD. He had a couple sacks, you know what I mean? But overall, man, it's not looking good for Spencer Rattler, man. It's not looking good right
now. No, it's not. He looked terrible. He looked bad. Woo, he looked bad. So. Speaking of bad, Anthony Richardson, man, my boy.
Yeah.
If it ain't the bad play, it's the injury prone. You starting to become injury prone, sir. And the best ability is availability. You better show something this week. I think they play the Packers this weekend. You better show something on Saturday, sir, or Daniel Jones will be the starter. They're itching for Daniel. That coaching staff is itching for Daniel Jones to be the starter. They want any excuse to get your ass up out of there, brother. So you better show up on Saturday.
I think it's over. I think Daniel Jones is going to be the starter. Like Daniel Jones didn't have a bad game. He threw for 144 yards. Anthony Richardson, he had look, that sack where you got hurt on, that was on him. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't blame anybody but him. He had a slow start. It was nothing really impressive. It's kind of like the same issues we've been seeing consistently throughout his entire career. And then on top of that, he gets hurt again. And I get it. Like, freakish stuff happens, but it happens to you a lot to the point where it's just like, and honestly, that Daniel Jones contract kind of says that he's probably going to be the starting quarterback. You're not going to pay that much for a backup quarterback. It's just not reality. So now, do they go in maybe considering trading Anthony Richardson? I don't know. Maybe somebody might feel froggy enough. Maybe that might be a situation where maybe the Saints might look into if they, still have questions on, maybe, Tyler Shook, he did play well, but let's say he struggles the next couple weeks. Maybe that might be a situation where they'd be like, look, we know Anthony Richardson has his issues, but he still has a lot of upside. And maybe we can tap into that with Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that might be a situation that you could look into. I don't know. I think that's something we gotta wait and see with the Colts. I personally think they should probably just go ahead and trade him because I just think it will just be a lot of unnecessary noise in that QB room. And maybe there might be another situation where it might be even better for him, whether it's, maybe a backup role in Jacksonville, maybe a backup role in the New Orleans Saints, maybe a backup role with the Commanders or something, play behind Jaden Daniels, learn behind Jaden Daniels, or maybe learn behind a Geno Smith. Maybe the Raiders might consider that, but I would assume they probably like Aiden O'Connell more than him right now. But, it's just some things you got to look at. But I think it's over for Anthony Richardson being the starting quarterback for the Colts. That's just
yeah. We'll see. I mean, like I said, he's got another opportunity this weekend. He got to show.
I mean, gonna have to throw for like 300 yards. He's gonna have to look like everything's just clicking. Like, I don't see that.
Yeah. Of course, another high-profile draft pick, Travis Hunter. Of course, he played this weekend. He played 11 snaps on offense, 8 snaps on defense. He really didn't do too much. He had a couple catches, but the highlight was him getting bounced off the floor. I forgot who was running, but stepped on him and bounced him off the floor. Kind of a welcome to the NFL moment.
Yeah. And
Travis just got to understand that you can't run over these guys. These guys are grown men with mortgages and families, sir. He might have to bulk up in the offseason a little bit. He might have to bulk up. But outside of that, I see, we still think he's talented. He's going to be a playmaker on both sides of the football. So that's fine.
I think Travis Hunter might be the hardest to judge throughout these preseasons
It
because
is.
it's just like you're not gonna really understand his true impact until like the games are actually going on. Like I think Travis Hunter will be fine. We all think he can be an all pro cornerback. I think I think there's some things he still needs to work on as far as like being a receiver, route running and stuff like that. But overall, I think he's ultra talented. He will have an impact on this team regardless. I'm not really worried about him at all. Like, yeah, he's gonna have his welcome to the NFL moments, man. But I think he'll be perfectly fine. Skylar Thompson, man, for Pittsburgh looked really good. I ain't gonna have cap. He looked really good, man. 2028, 233 yards, 3 TDs. Caleb Johnson, obviously, I think it's the same situation with Ashton Genty. You know what I mean? Like those rookie running backs will be fine. Like I just think it's kind of hard to find a
Marion
little.
Hampton too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be hard for them to find rhythm. Playing so sparingly, playing behind teams that are still trying to work on things. We all know offenses take a little bit longer to kind of find their rhythm and stuff like that. I think they'll be fine. But overall, man, Pittsburgh looked pretty good. I ain't gonna cap. They look pretty good.
Do you want to talk about your Raiders?
Yeah, man, we can talk about the Raiders. Obviously, you know what I mean. We played. I forgot who the fuck we played. Seahawks. Played Seahawks, with the return. The infamous Geno Smith middle finger to the crowd, man. That was pretty much the highlight of that was pretty much my favorite part of the whole thing. But man, overall, man, obviously the Raiders didn't have a great start out. You know what I mean? Aiden O'Connell, man, he threw two picks, had 63 rating. Yeah, it's kind of like Aiden O'Connell is who he is. I know some people still have pretty high hopes for him, but overall, I think the star of the show was probably Cam Miller. Cam Miller, man, he had a pretty, really solid game. Coming in, being able to tie the game back up. We saw his arm strength, we saw his athletic ability. I love our young cornerbacks. You know what I mean? From Darian Porter, Isaiah, I really like that. Jamal Adams, man, he looked very, very explosive. You know what I mean? In that position that Pete Carroll wants him to play in that linebacker position. I love that. So I'm truly excited to see. Tyree Wilson, he had a decent game. Overall, like it's at the end of the day, I know a lot of people still had, going back to Ashton Genty, people were kind of clowning on Ashton Genty. That old line did not do him any service. Jackson Powers needs to be a whole lot better. He was pretty much unimpressive, so I need to see improvement for him. But overall, man, I like the youth as far as like some of our draft picks that we are able to sign. I think our team is going to be really, really resilient. I still think we have a small chance to be able to compete for like a last playoff spot, maybe scare some teams and stuff like that. But overall, man, I'm pretty pleased. There's certain players I do need to see improvement on though. But overall, I can't be mad.
For sure, for sure. As far as my Chiefs go, we played the Arizona Cardinals. I love what I saw from our left tackle, Joshua Simmons. He played really good. He had 11 snaps. He played really good. Our left guard, he was our left tackle last year, but he got snatched in that same. As soon as the second game, Trey Henderson put him in the blender, and they snatched his ass up out of there. They moved him to left guard to replace Joe Tooney. You're not going to replace Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney is an All-Pro, Hall of Fame left guard. You ain't replacing that. But if you can get fine, competent left guard play, that's all we ask for. Is if Joshua Simmons continues to trend the way he's been trending, I think we'll be fine on it. I know Chiefs fans, boy, I tell you, y'all, sky is falling every damn play. It's preseason. Calm the hell down. Like I swear, dog. I'm in the group chats and they just going crazy.
Yeah.
You would think we was in the Super Bowl with some of these guys. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
Dude just moved to left guard. He's never played left guard a day. He's never played guard a day in his life. Like, he's still learning the position. Calm down. It's gonna take some time. Now, if we week 5, week 6, and we talking about this, yeah, you pull his ass and put somebody else in there. But let the kid learn the position at the same time, learning the communication and all that stuff. He's got a all-pro center next to him in Creed Humphrey. He'll be fine. He will be fine. So,
Yeah.
but I like what I saw from our starting offensive line. I didn't like what I saw from the defensive line. I know Chris Jones didn't really play, and we didn't really get too much because the first kickoff, Arizona fumbled.
Yeah.
We got the ball back. Isaiah Pacheco ran the ball up the middle, and we got to like the 10-yard line. The dude Will Johnson held what's your name at the line. It was a 1st and 10. What's your name? Threw a back shoulder fade and touchdown. It was like Patrick Mahomes was 1-1-1. That was the stat line. So I'm not taking too much in that. It was good to see the kid catch the football in the end zone, but I'm not taking nothing from that. I did not Omar Norman Lott, our second round pick. He's supposed to be this dude that came. He was explosive off the line. I know he put a lot of pounds on. He put some extra weight on, and he was getting a little buzz in training camp. He did have a little ankle injury. I don't know if he's still lingering. Some people said they noticed he was still kind of limping around a little bit. So maybe he's trying to get back from that ankle injury, and he's not, fully healed from that. So we're not getting that first step that we were seeing, but we'll see on that. That's what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because we need some extra juice next to. You just said Chris Jones is like takes our defensive line to another level. And without him, it's just kind of a cast of guys. I mean, I love Charles Omenihu. I like George Karlaftis, but they're not Chris Jones. You know what I'm saying? So we need another guy with juice on that in the interior defensive line. So if Omar Norman can be that, I would pray that happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's just his ankle is just messing with him. Ashton Gelati, our other pick, defensive end, he showed a good motor. He was out there playing hard, had a couple of good run stuffs. I was happy to see him. The guy that I love, that I like seeing, our fifth round pick, Jeffrey Bossa, linebacker out of Oregon. My man was flying around. He reminded me a lot of Willie Gay, a little bit smarter version of Willie Gay, but he reminded me of Willie Gay. He was covering tight ends, doing all kinds of stuff, just all over the field. And I like what I saw from him.
Mm-hmm.
Another player, our fourth round pick, Jalen Royals, a wide receiver. He looked like he's going to be pretty good. He was getting open. I think Bailey Zappi should not be on the NFL field. I just want to let everybody know that he is a terrible quarterback. There was one time he marched all the way down the field, Mom,
Mm-hmm.
got to the 20. This man just flung it in the air and threw a pick. And this is if he scores, we up. Not to say that winning is, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
you making
Yeah.
yourself look bad, sir. Like he had two bad picks. Like he's bad.
Yeah.
He should not be on this team.
Yeah.
He should
Yeah.
not be on the team. He's terrible. But Jalen Royals, he had a couple good. He could have had a bigger run, but Sky Moore, he whiffed on the block. Sky Moore's out of here, though. Sky Moore's done.
You think he getting cut?
Yeah, he's done. I don't even think he makes the practice squad, fam. Like
Yeah.
he's bad.
That bad, huh?
Oh
That's
man, he's not good. And he was when you're playing well into the last minute with the fours, yeah, you're done.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. That's pretty much
It's over.
sign. Yeah, that's a fall from grace, man. I remember
Yeah,
a lot of people had a lot of high hopes
yeah,
for him,
high
man, when
hopes
they
for
first got
him, but
drafted. But
he's fallen so far.
yeah.
It's bad, dog. He's not looking too good. Our other the corner Noah Williams, he made some good plays on defense. He actually made a real good play on special teams. I love what I see from Matt Ariza, our punter. He looks like he's been working on his kicks, his accuracy, getting into the 5. He had one punt where he got into the 5. Our safety, Jaden Hicks. I love the pick, but it was just more of a bad throw by Kyler Murray. A lot of people said that.
Nah, yeah, that Kyle Murray throw. That Kyle Murray pick was
A
disastrous,
lot of people
man.
were just
That
saying
shit was bad.
he pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, he meant to press square when he pushed triangle. So
He
and
was
you know
trying
I'm a
to,
Kyle Murray dude, but
yeah.
that shit was egregious. Like
When
that
he
kind of
threw
helps the
that,
conversation about. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
When I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's a bad throw. I was like, thank you, but that was a bad throw.
I don't know what he was looking at.
Yeah, but like I said, defensive line, corner. I got behind Trent McDuffie and I mean Jalen Watson. He got a concussion in the game. That's kind of scary. I did see in practice today. Christian Fulton is back. He got a pick in practice, but I'm glad he's back. We signed him to a 2-year deal, so we're gonna need him out there. So it's really the secondary that I have my questions and a little bit of that defensive line that I got my questions about. But overall, I thought we were fine. You know what I'm saying? It's preseason, man. You're just looking for guys to flash, really. That's what you're looking for. These guys ain't game planning. They ain't, it's none of that. They just going out there and just playing
Mhm.
and seeing what guy flash. And I'm excited for some certain players, and some players I need them to step up. That's
Yeah,
all it is. So
yeah, yeah. Nah, like I agree. I didn't get a chance to watch Senior Chiefs game. How surprised are you that Caleb Williams did not play at all? You a little
um,
surprised?
I am. I would have loved to see him. I just think that you're the new head coach. You're bringing this offense that you're supposed to be bringing from Detroit. Get the crowd happy. I don't care if it's one series, man. Just get the crowd happy. Let Caleb Williams fling the football around so the Chicago Bear fans can be like, yeah, boy, we got something going for
Yeah,
you. I get it. you had a joint practice and you saw it in practice, but don't you want to do something for your fans? I think you should reward your fans, unless you're just trying to protect them from something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I understand the joint practice thing, and I understand that there was also conversations about maybe they wanted to rest the offensive line and stuff like that. You don't want to put too much on them, but then again, man, like what's one series? You know what I mean? I get it. You want to try to protect the players, but we see it with what happened with the Eagles. I forgot the what's his name,
Landon Dickerson, yeah.
Lander Dickerson. He got hurt in the play in practice. We saw Rashawn Slater who ruptured his patella tendon in the practice. Like you can't protect these players at all times, man. Like you just gonna have to wing it. But again, I think Caleb Williams, with all the inconsistencies that we've been hearing with him in training camp, I think it's just have him play a series, man. Just see what it looks like. Give a little taste. It's not like you're gonna give us everything that you're gonna throw at him or that you have in your cookbook. But at the end of the day, man, just get him reps. Get him reps. Like I think it's starting to become a little bit more of the norm where we're starting to see a lot of these starting quarterbacks playing the first week of the preseason because you only get 3 of these things, and then we all know the last game they're not playing. So I think it's just best, find that rhythm. We've all stated that it takes these offenses a little bit longer to find a little rhythm compared to these defenses. But overall, man, I think I would assume we're going to see a lot of Caleb Williams at least the first quarter in the next game. I would assume that.
I hope so.
I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, I think he should have played.
But I do want to say this before we get off topic. I don't know if you have anything else to talk about. Packers look terrible, by the way. Packers look.
Did Jordan Love play?
He did play. He played a little bit. Man, what was the stat line? He had he was 1 for 5 for 7 yards. So I don't know. Like that team is just not looking good. It seems like they still don't like Matthew Golden look decent. You know what I mean? But it looks like they're still getting drops. Romeo Dobbs and all of them, man. It's just I don't know, man. Like I don't know about that team. I get it's one preseason game, but it did not look good. But I do want to say this before we get off topic. I do want to send my prayers out to Maurice Norris. Mm-hmm. If people don't know, he was a safety that plays for the Detroit Lions. He went in for the tackle, but when he went in for the tackle, his neck snapped back, and a scary scene happened on the field where, unfortunately, he started convulsing and stuff like that. He is in concussion protocol. They are saying he's doing a lot better. So I do want to send my prayers out to him. Hopefully, it's a speedy recovery. Hopefully, he doesn't miss any time, man. And that was a very, very scary scene, very somber scene in Atlanta. So they had to stop the game because of that.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, man. It's gonna happen in this game, but yeah, I also want to give love for weekend's MVP Joe Burrow because they made it a point.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, look. If Jamar Chase isn't your number 1 overall pick, I don't know what to tell y'all. It's not Saquon. It's not Justin Jefferson. It is Jamar Chase. That man might have over 2,000 yards and 20 TDs this year. He might, because it's about to be the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase show, and some of T Higgins. Sprinkle some T Higgins in there. Like he'll get
my man said we ain't playing.
Nah, he ain't doing them slow starts no more, bro. He's like, nah, bump that. I'm playing, and we gonna be out here. We ain't losing week 1. He's like, I'm tired of them 0-3. And you gotta respect Burrow, bro. You do. Is not the problem. Burrow has never been the problem.
He's never been the problem.
He's a top quarterback. He's in conversation with being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Yeah. But he's tired. You could tell he's tired of these slow starts, bro. They're gonna have to figure out that Trey Hendrickson situation. Hopefully they can get that resolved because that defense still looks terrible. Yeah. Like they don't have no pressure and stuff like that. We
knew that coming in.
We knew it was gonna happen, but that team looked terrible. As far as like on the defense's end. What's your opinion about Rashawn Slater and that injury? How much do you think that affects the Chargers and their progressions this year?
It's a blow. I mean, Rashawn Slater is one of the better left tackles in this league, man. So I mean, he's always dealt with little knick-knack injuries here and there. So this is, unfortunately, this is what he kind of dealt with when you're dealing with Rashawn Slater. But when he's in there, he's one of the best. The good news for the Chargers is that Joe Alt played most of his career at left tackle. So you scoot him over to left tackle. I don't know if they're going to put Mekhi Beckham. I know people had their trepidations for him as a left tackle. He had made a name for himself as guard, but what I'm saying, it was a lot of talk about him being a tackle, but they might move him to right tackle since he has experience at right tackle. And you have Mekhi Beckham, and you probably have Joe Alt as your guard, as your tackles, and then you just slide somebody else in as guard. But we got to see. But like I said, they did get a blessing in getting Joe Alt as your left tackle. You could always do worse. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I think he'll give them quality snaps. It's probably take them a little bit of time to play on their left side, but I think he'll give them some good snaps at left tackle, and we'll just see on their right side. Really,
Yeah,
it's really
I think they said Trey Pipkins is going to play on the right side, so
okay.
so he'll be on the right side. Yeah, we'll see. I think that's a huge blow. I think this Landon injury to the Eagles is a
Could
huge
hurt them.
blow.
Could hurt them.
That's going to be really huge. I don't think it'll. I think they'll still probably be the favorites in the
Yeah,
East,
yeah,
but because they're just that loaded. But it's going to have a blow. Obviously, I think he's getting an MRI today, so we'll know more of the extent. Hopefully, it's not something where he's going to be out for the whole year. Maybe he's just out maybe the first couple of games of the season. But it's a huge blow. Huge blow.
the only good news is he was sitting in the front of the cart.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
when they sit in the front, it's not as big. When they sit in that back, and
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah, so yeah,
that's when it's major.
yeah, nah, yeah, and then like I get it. He couldn't put a lot of pressure on his knee, but overall, he still was walking out of there a little bit. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, hopefully it's just maybe he's out for like a month or something. Maybe he just has like a bad knee sprain or
yeah.
something like that. Maybe a slight tear, or maybe he can get it cleaned up and be back pretty soon. So.
Yeah, for sure. But shout out to week one. Week two's this week, man. See what I think a lot of the movement and a lot of the teams are gonna have their starters out there. Um, they play their starters is probably gonna be a little bit more of a dress rehearsal this week, to get the guys out there to, get a good feel of what we're gonna head into with the season. Because I think the last game, a lot of the teams are going to sit all their starters, and you'll see a lot of the guys who are trying to make the roster in the
Yeah.
last preseason game. But guys who are on the bubble, what I'm saying, we'll see what receiver here, corner, defensive lineman type stuff like that. But I think this week is really going to be more emphasis of playing the starters, and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think so too.
All right, man. Let's talk some NBA, man.
Yes.
Trae Young,
Mm-hmm.
star for the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there for a while now. It's always been trade talks and rumors around him, but it never comes to fruition. They stick with him. He's been improving every year. You know what I'm saying? Is he the greatest defender? No, he's not. But on offense, he's a threat. You know what I'm saying? And the question is, should they extend him or should they get something for him? So you are the basketball aficionado. What would you do if you were the Atlanta Hawks front office with Trae Young?
I would definitely sign him. I think Trae Young is an integral part with this team, especially with just how they have this team laid out. Like I know Trae Young could be a defensive liability, but they were able to sign to kill Alexander Walker. You got Kristaps Porzingis in the trade. You're gonna get Jalen Johnson back. You got Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson are probably the two best young defenders in the league currently right now. So you have a lot of surrounding talent that will help as far as like him on the defensive end with as far as like protecting him. And then we all know the closing ability that Trae Young has. I think Trae Young fits this team perfectly. I think Trae Young is one of the top closers in the league, and that I think he doesn't get a lot of respect for. I think he needs to get signed now. Now, as far as like the deal, like I think he's eligible for I think it's a 5-year, $350 million contract. Now that is pretty steep for a player that has a little bit of defensive liability. He's not a bigger player. If he's willing to like maybe kind of like find a deal where he can still get his money, but at the same time there's still cap relief where they can still, because the guys like Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, they're all going to need contracts here pretty soon in the next year or two. Hopefully, maybe they can do something where they can sign him, but yet there'll still be enough cap flexibility where they can keep those guys. Then I think that would be the smartest move, I think, for both parties, because I think Trae Young, I think he will always be an offensive talent, but this might be his best team that he's ever had that's coming in. And I think you can easily put the Hawks as maybe being a top 3 team in the East, especially how everything is laid out. So, I think it's just a situation where if they can find a happy medium as far as like with the price range, with the contract, where both sides can be happy about that, but they still can have the flexibility to re-sign their young key talent. I think it's a win-win for both sides. So if they can do that, I think 100% they should sign Trae Young.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you got to keep as many stars as you can. Atlanta, they need that. You know what I'm saying? They need somebody they could cheer for, root for. And if Trey Young is that for them, then they should extend him to keep butts in the seats. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't got an interesting team, Atlanta fans ain't showing up.
Yeah. Nah, and they got a real interesting team this year. They got a really good team. That team is going to be really solid if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, so go ahead and extend Trey. He's your guy. He's your superstar. And Maul's over there hurting himself. But but go ahead.
Oh, bro, that shit did not feel good. Oh man.
Go ahead and sign Trey Young. Can only get this type of stuff on live streams, though. We'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and let
Please do,
Maul.
please, please, please. Oh my god. Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Maul to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Maul to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
You better?
Yeah, man. I was trying to readjust the draws, man, and I actually hit something that shouldn't have been hit. So yeah, I'm okay right now. Stomach hurting a little bit, but I'll be all right.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and talk about Madden 26, man. It is dropped. A lot of people have been playing it and have had better reviews than they had with the college football. So I wanted to get our reviews of the game. How are you feeling, sir? How are you feeling about Madden 26?
I'm loving it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. It feels really, really good. It feels very smooth, very responsive, very reactive. Obviously, there are always some flaws in any video game, but I think the overall sense for me is that this game is I'm having a blast playing it. I'm having fun. Um, I haven't tried the franchise mode or anything like yet, but I have tried Ultimate Team. I have tried online play. It feels really good, man. It feels really good, very responsive. My God, like you actually have downfield blocking when you actually are running down the field. Like it's a really great thing. This really just proves to me that EA really just totally trash college football so they can make Madden great. That's the only thing I could think of because college football is just in such a bad state, and I hate to like go back to that game and continuously dogpile on it. But the reality is the reality of it. Like it's completely night and day. Like me and you both have played both games, and I remember my first time touching college football. I was like, there is just something wrong where it just does not feel good. And then the first time I played Madden, I'm like, yo, this feels like what I thought it should be. You know what I mean? Like the game looks amazing. Obviously, the graphics look really, really good. I'm loving the presentation. Obviously, I am tired of hearing the same chick's voice as far as like the play-by-play, but they do have the different, especially in franchise mode, they have like the Thursday night football, they have the Sunday night football, they have the Monday night football. So they have those different presentations. I haven't gotten to experience that too much yet. So I'm sure it's a healthy difference. I'm sure you probably have a little bit more to say about that. But as far as like the movement feels really well. The blocking feels really well. The defense feels very, very responsive. Like you actually have a chance to intercept the ball. You have an actual chance to catch these players. And I'm loving the way these models feel where they, especially on the quarterbacks, where you can feel like when you're playing Kyle Murray, you feel like you're playing Kyle Murray. When you're Patrick Mahomes, you feel like you're playing Patrick Mahomes, and vice versa. The running backs, I'm loving I don't know. You probably could tell me more about it, especially with franchise mode and the other modes. As far as like, they have this new mechanism where the coaches are supposed to feel like the coaches, as far as like the play calling and the schemes and how they would call fourth downs and 2-minute drills and stuff like that. So maybe you could have a better response to that. I haven't really experienced that too much, especially with the online play. But overall, man, I'm loving it. I'll probably give it like a solid like 8.5. I'm really digging it. I think this is probably the most fun I've had with Madden in the last couple years for sure. So I'm really digging.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. This is 10 times better than college football. Like you said, it's way more smoother. The offensive line play is really good. My only thing about it is, certain glitches. I mean, that's gonna happen. Like when you're playing franchise mode and somebody gets hurt, and they say it's a high probability for them to get hurt, and you take them out, and then the next play they back. Like, why is Travis Kelsey back in the game, man? What are you doing? He's supposed to be hurt.
Right.
That's the only thing. It's like, damn, man, get him out the game. But
Yeah.
outside of that, it's been good. I play franchise mode, and I feel good playing it. Like you said, the chick on there, she don't bother me. She's way better than Charles Davis. I'll take 10 of hers.
No, yeah, she is.
I'll take 10 of hers over Charles Davis.
Nah, yeah, Charles Davis.
He was annoying.
I wish they would go back to Madden's voice. I don't know if they can't go there. That was probably the best for me. But
They probably that's probably like a estate finance copyright.
No, his name's
thing.
on the goddamn game. You can't get his voice.
I don't know.
Can't get his voice. Oh man, that was some of the best.
I agree. I think they could AI some stuff and have him calling games with some of the, some of these other, recent current people. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be
cool.
dope.
Have a throwback announcing crew with
even
him.
Pat Summerall, have them both on there too, calling the game and stuff like that. That'd be dope. But yeah, outside of that, they do change the commentary. When I play Thursday night football, I do love the intros for each team. When you do the Sunday night football, they got the Chiefs one spot on with the dude hitting the drum and the crowd going crazy and all that stuff. So that was dope. But overall, I give it an A.
How do you feel with as far as like the intricacies with franchise mode? As far as like I know you kind of hint at it as far as like training camp, you know what I mean, where you had to like decide who you want to cut.
Man, that was my only thing, is that sometimes I do think that Madden maybe come out a little bit too early. Maybe wait till after training camp when rosters are really set and who they're gonna pick or whatever, because you be having to cut dudes and it's like, this dude's like doing pretty good in camp, he probably gonna make the real team. I had to cut Tyquan Thornton. It's like Tyquan Thornton probably gonna make the squad.
You
know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think they put it out so early, and I get it. You want to get the same feel like you're in training camp with the team or
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just like, I think that they should just have the rosters kind of set or at least around, like you get an idea of what's going on in training camp, so you say, okay, this player is playing good in training camp, so there's a possibility he can make the team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll boost his rating a little bit more, because when you get into the 60s and whatever, that's when you become a cut candidate. Or you move him to practice squad or whatever. I even had to move Bashar Smith, our 7th round pick, who he's making waves in our team. You know what I'm saying? And I had to move him to practice squad, cut somebody just to booster him up so nobody else would take him. So but outside of that, like I said, it's good. As far as the coaches, I really haven't felt I think the playbook is pretty good. There are some things where it's just like it's kind of the same play. Like one screenplay is like it's the same screenplay. It's on the other side. Like, but outside of that, like, because I be trying to look for the stuff to throw down the field, and I'd be like, where are all the plays? Throw this shit down the field, man. But outside of that, I think the playbook is pretty good. It feels like a Chiefs offense.
It feels like a Chiefs offense, Chiefs playbook and stuff like that. How do you feel with the player movement? Like, like they have like the where it feels like you're Patrick Mahomes, feels like you're Isaiah Pacheco and how they do and all that stuff like that. How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, I do. When you playing with Pacheco and you push the speed and it goes to the hole, that's when he starts tearing up the floor, like he always do. The Mahomes throws is on point. The way Travis Kelsey moves, all of it's on point. Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, all that looks good. Defensively, same thing. It's just I feel like I'm playing with the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look like they just took some generic stuff and just said, let's play Madden. You know what I'm saying? They just went ahead and they added different stuff for different players, and that's a good thing.
For sure. Have you done the my player at all? You know what I
The
mean? Have you
superstar, yeah, I
superstar?
played that. It's, I mean, you play one superstar, you play them all. Like
Yeah,
you do the 40. I mean, you do the combine. You got to run the 40. You do the weight lifting. You do the jump, the long jump, and then you throw. If you're a quarterback, or you probably do running back drills or wide receiver drills or whatever. Um, Outside of that, it's the same thing. You do good in most of those things, you're going to be a first, second round pick.
for sure. For sure. So you think you're gonna play a lot of hours of this, huh?
Yeah, I'm definitely been playing it. I've been playing it. I just got through playing the Ravens.
Oh, what's your record right now?
I'm 4-0.
Oh, 4-0. All right, all
Or
right.
5-0, 5-0, one of the two. But yeah,
For sure. Yeah. Shout out to Madden. Yeah, and college football will never be installed into my PlayStation 5 app ever again until they probably fix it, which they probably will never do it. But maybe because I'm assuming like that player count is very, very low over there with Madden being out. But shout out to everybody who
I
had
saw a
an impact.
dude. I saw a dude said, "I'm done with college football." The dude, he was defending at the goal line. The dude did like a run to the left, did like a backwards pass into the. He said, "I'm done."
That might be the worst football game I've ever played, though. That college football game was terrible. So hopefully they get their act together. Hopefully a lot of people have abandoned that game to the point where these developers, because I still want to play it. Like I paid money for it. Like I still hope they fix it to the point where it could be playable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I do want to play that game because I had so much fun with college football 25. Like I just don't know how you went from that to the massacre that you did to 26. Like it's night and day. Like and it's really mind-boggling. So hopefully those developers fix it to the point where we can all go back and still try to enjoy that game. Because we all pay money for it and we can't get our money back for it. So hopefully they
Mhm.
do some service. If not, I think people should do protests to try to get their money back for that fucking game
This
because
man
that
said.
shit is atrocious.
This man said a protest.
Something. you know, something. That game is trash.
Yeah, but shout out to Madden 26, man. You finally got a good one.
Yeah. No, yeah.
All right, man. Let's do our BetUs Surefire Picks.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. What you got?
I got a quick little three, man. So I got the Valkyries. I got them -7.5 over the Connecticut Sun. I think the Valkyries have been playing pretty well. I got the Phillies +1.5 over the Reds. And then I got the Twins +1.5 over the Yankees. Yankees been kind of struggling a little bit, so I'm gonna go with the Twins.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got pretty much the same thing. I got Golden State over the Sun 7.5. I'm taking the Twins money line over the Yankees. Like you said, they are not playing good right now. They're on a
Mm-mm.
skid. Them and the Mets are not playing good
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
New York is not happy right now. You know what I mean? They are
Right
not happy.
now, right now, the best teams in the league because the LA Dodgers ain't they
Nah,
kind of up
Dodgers
and
ain't been
down.
playing good. Yeah, you know what I mean. I
Right
think the
now, it look
best
like the Blue Jays and the Tigers are playing really
Tigers are playing
good.
really good. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So
I think the Phillies been playing pretty good too
yeah,
for
in the
the
Philly,
last couple weeks.
in the Phillies. So yeah, I got a 2 pack. I just go with Golden State Valkyries side and a half Twins money line.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, if you look on the screen, people, you will see the QR code for the BetUS website. Okay, it's not gonna do that. Bam, there you go. Scan that QR code. Uh, Sign up. This is first time users only. You sign up, put your information in, put the promo code JOIN125. You get 125% signing bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance. That means you get 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits on $100 up to $5,000. That means on your first 3 deposits, if you bet $100 and you lose, you keep your money. So you can keep your money on your first 3 deposits, or you can win you some money. So go over there, sign up to BetUS, tell them Chris Delamall sent you. And that does it for our BetUS Surefire Picks. All right. NBA has announced their opening night games and their Christmas Day slate. We've talked off camera, and you've had your trepidation with some of these games,
Yep.
but I'm gonna go ahead and read these games off to you, and you give me your thoughts. So, opening night. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where you at? So, opening night, they got the Houston Rockets at the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they got the Golden State Warriors at your Lakers. How are you feeling about that opening night slate?
The Houston Rockets Thunder matchup was something that I'm like, yeah, I think that's a perfect matchup. You know what I mean? KD going back to OKC as they raise their banner. I know KD has been on this. He's been on Twitter actively, talking about that. Like, he's, pretty much said about time. Been 10 years. You know what I mean? About time they won it. So I don't think he's, really taking it too hard, but. I think that's a great matchup. The Warriors Lakers, I don't understand it at all. I get it. They're still trying to do this Steph Curry versus LeBron type of situation, but come on, man. This is one of my problems with the NBA. Like, they have all the superstar talent that they can promote. Young people that that are already established and older players, but they continuously want to throw this Steph Curry LeBron matchup in our face, and I'm tired of that matchup. I get it. There's been a lot of special moments, but you have the Lakers and Mavericks right there. You have Mavs coming to LA right there. I do not understand why they refuse to do that. I don't understand why they have the Mavs and Lakers, because they put them in the NBA Cup. So now you got those matchups where they have to be in the middle of this in November and December. And I get it. They're trying to promote the NBA Cup more, trying to get it more active, trying to have it be established like this one entity type of thing. But my God, like, you do not put the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers on a random Thursday or a Tuesday where people are either going to tune in or not tune in, when you could have had it open at night where everybody's going to be tuned in, and you choose not to do that. I think that's just pure idiocy on the NBA, which they always have had a problem on trying to promote this game. They have a hard time promoting their younger players because they want to keep holding on to the KDs and Steph Currys and the LeBrons, and I get it how big they are, but my God, like it couldn't have been served to you easier on a platter, and yet you still dropped the plate. You still drop the Thanksgiving food in the toilet. Like, it makes no sense, bro. Like, I didn't. Nothing excites me about Warriors Lakers. The Warriors haven't done anything in the offseason. They haven't done anything. You think I want to see Draymond Green and LeBron love fest? No, I do not care about that. I do not care about watching Steph Curry versus LeBron anymore. I do not care. I do not care. Like, come on, let's make some new matchups. You have new rivalries right there, willing to take it. Right there. Just take it. Or if you didn't want to do it that open tonight, just have the Houston Rockets and the Thunder be the nightcap. Have them play, at 6:30, and just have an earlier game when you could have had the Hawks versus the Knicks or the Cavs versus the Knicks right there. But you choose to just continue throwing Steph Curry and LeBron. Like, oh my God. Like, I hated that. I hated that.
Okay. And then the Christmas Day slate. It's a 5-game pack. You got the Spurs at the Thunder. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Denver Nuggets. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers at the New York Knicks. Houston Rockets at your Lakers, and the Denver Nuggets at the Phoenix Sun. How are you feeling about that? Now, they're going against the NFL. Or the NFL's going against them. Wherever you want to see it. How are you feeling, sir?
Again, another situation where it's like, all right, like pretty much swap the Rockets and Lakers, swap the Rockets and the Mavs to the other matchups. So you could have had the Mavs versus the Lakers open tonight in LA. On Christmas Day, you have Luka going back to Dallas on a Christmas Day game, because you got to remember, you're competing with the NFL now on Christmas Day. And I get it. I've always said it. I think the NBA games are easier on the eyes on TV than NFL games. And we saw it last year because those Christmas NFL games were hot garbage. We all turned them things off by the end of the first quarter. It was that bad. But you are still competing with the NFL, who is who is the best sports entity in America today. In America. So you're still competing. So why would you not have the Rockets, KD, going to Golden State, going back to Golden State on his new team, when you know the Rockets and the Warriors have one of the better rivalries, especially in the playoffs, and you know what the Warriors have done to the Rockets consistently in the playoffs, and how much they do not like each other. So you had that on the platter. Then you could have had the Lakers and Luka go back to Dallas, have another emotional return to a big time game, the 5 o'clock game. A lot of people would have tuned into that. I'm not mad at Cavs and Knicks, even though I'm not mad because those are your two best teams probably going to be in the East. I probably would have preferred Trae Young going to New York for Christmas Day because I think the NBA fumbles on that rivalry right there. You all know the high tense it is when Trae Young walks into Madison Square Garden. That is the number one hated player with all Knicks fans. And the Hawks are going to be a really good young team. You want to promote that really good young team because these old dirts like Steph Curry and LeBron James are going out. Kevin Durant, I respect to those guys. Those guys are all-time greats. But the reality is you want to promote your younger talent. So why not put the Hawks against the Knicks? Have the Cavs go against somebody else, like maybe the Magic, because you only got one Eastern Conference matchup here all of Christmas. The rest are Western Conference matchups. So to throw the Eastern Conference another bone, have the Cavs versus the Magic. Promote Paolo Banchero, another great young talent. Or the Detroit Pistons, promote Cade Cunningham, another great young talent, which you choose not to do. The Timberwolves and Nuggets, I'm not mad. You have Anthony Edwards, you have the Nuggets. I'm not mad at that situation. I probably would have preferred the Clippers versus the Nuggets if you want to have the Nuggets involved, because the Clippers and Nuggets had that all-time great series, playoff series in the back. You have the addition of Bradley Beal and Chris Paul, even though I personally think the Clippers are a little bit worse on that back end, but if they all stay healthy, I think that match is cool. But I'm not mad at the Timberwolves and Nuggets. But everything else just not makes sense. This is my main problem with the NBA. They do not know how to promote their young talent, and they refuse to promote matchups that make more sense, and they keep holding on to the past. Move forward. KD and LeBron and Steph are going to be fine. Anytime they're on TV, people are going to show. Promote the younger guys that are going to take over. I like the Spurs and the Thunder. I love that because you have that young Spurs team with Victor Wembanyama, Stephen Castle, and all those young guys going up against the young Thunder championship team. But, like, my God, hire me. I'll do the schedule for you because whoever does it for you is hot garbage, dog. It makes no sense, and that's my number one frustration with the NBA. They refuse to promote their game the best way that they can. Finals coverage, like NBA draft, like all this stuff annoys the hell out of me because you have a great product. You have great players. You have enough talent to promote, to get past LeBron, Steph, and all these guys, but you refuse to do it because you guys are so mind-blowingly numb to promoting newer talent. Do that. The NFL is great at that. NHL is great at that. Major League Baseball is good at that. Why can't the NBA do the same thing? Please do it. Please. My God, it's right there, but you refuse to do it.
And they'll be going against Dallas Cowboys and Washington Commanders, the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings, and the Denver Broncos versus Kansas.
The NFL learned after 1 year. Make divisional matchups because we all know divisional matchups will be good matchups no matter what day of the week it is. The NFL knows how to promote their game. They know how to schedule their games, but the NBA refuses to do that because they are dumb. They are dumb. I'm sorry I have to say that. I want to be able to do things with the NBA. I appreciate Adam Silver and some of the things that he does. I really do. But this is my number one frustration with y'all and trying to promote this game to be better. Like, bruh, y'all got to have the big balls to go up against the NFL. You guys cannot be scared of the NFL. Throw all your bullets, your ammo, your nukes, all that against the NFL. The NFL is coming. They took your day. They deboed your day. They deboed your most important day to kick off your year to a degree, because that's when everybody says that's when the NBA season starts. It's Christmas Day. You know what the NFL did? They went over there and took your chain. Even though your games were way better than the NFL product, way better. The numbers say otherwise. The numbers are showing the NFL did this number. They did this. And then on top of that, they'll throw a Beyonce in the performance. They'll throw whoever. Who knows who the performance is going to be this Christmas, but they know how to promote stuff to get people to watch the TV screen. The NBA refuses to do that. And it's so, oh my God, bro. This is probably my number one thing that annoys me right now. It's more than Caitlin Clark right now. It's this stuff right here with the NBA because I love this. I love the product so much that it doesn't get promoted because there's too many great players in this league not to get promoted, but the NBA refuses to do it. And it's mind-numbing that they don't do it. The NFL learned after 1 year. Let's do Dallas. Let's do Philly. Let's do this. Let's do that. All divisional games. And you know what's going to happen? I guarantee you all those games are going to be really good because they're all going to be fighting for positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Those numbers are going to triple what the NBA is going to do because they can't do anything right. They can't do anything right. Luka versus the Mavs in Dallas? You can't tell me they ain't going to do numbers? Rockets versus the Warriors? That ain't going to do numbers? What? Come on, dog. What are we talking about? Sorry. I went on a rant. My bad.
It's all good, player.
Woosah.
I know how passionate you are about the NBA.
Woosah. That's crazy, bro. Am I wrong, though? Like, what's your opinion on that? You're an NFL guy. You don't even watch the NBA that much anymore. I've been trying to get you into it. Like, what's your opinion on situations like that? What am I saying something wrong, or do I make valuable sense?
I'm gonna defer to you, sir, because you know the matchups, you know the rivalries.
But I'm telling you the matchups as a person that used to watch the NBA. That if things kind of go to the way it was, that maybe you can get back into it. But like what I'm telling you right there, you have the younger guys, promote the younger guys. You want LeBron and Steph Curry. They have already been establishing new guys. You're going against the NFL. The NFL has made the decision that what they did last year was dumb. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do divisional games on Christmas Day. Divisional games. And Chris, what happens with divisional football games? What's the number one thing that happens with divisional football games?
They get positioning in their division.
They're all highly,
competitive.
They're all competitive games, bro, because they know each other. They don't even need to practice. They don't need to watch film. They know who they are. And at that time of the year, they already know who they're playing against. So we all know they're going to be really good games. Obviously, it's a day. When's Christmas? Thursday this year?
Yeah, I think so.
So Thursday, so it kind of fits to the normality of how schedules are. So they're going to be used to Thursday games compared to a Wednesday game. I think they kind of fixed the situation where teams aren't playing 4 games in 11 days. Yeah. They're not doing that stuff no more. So they fixed that. So these guys,
even if it is like that, they got more of a break.
They got more of a break. But at the end of the day, they learned, they adapted, they understand. Like, okay, like. Yeah, Roger Goodell already said we're not competing with the NBA. You know, we're competing with other stuff. We're competing with the Apples and all that, which was a total spin in the face to the NBA. I'm telling you, like the NBA is like so like the problem with Adam Silver, and I'll cut it after this. The problem with Adam Silver is I think he's a very innovative man. I think he's a very fair man. I think he's a good commissioner. But my problem with him is he does not have the cojones to be like, David Stern would not even allow this. So he's like, all right, this is what you're going to do? Okay, bet. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. But yet it's like they are so in fear of the NFL where they're scared to just literally do anything to compete with the NFL. You cannot be scared of the NFL. You are 2 different spectrums. I get it. You're competing as far as sports. You're competing as far as eyes. But true basketball fans are going to go to that game. Mm-hmm. I've always stated that the game of basketball is more better on the eyes than an NFL game. That is just reality. The 2 differences between both of these leagues is tribalism, because tribalism is really in effect with NFL teams. Like, you are a Chiefs fan. I am a Raiders fan. You are a Phillies fan, an Eagles fan. You are a Seahawks fan. There is no doubting who you're a fan of. Now, with you, what has been your main thing with the NBA? You don't have a specific team you root for. You mainly root for players. Mm-hmm. So the tribalism within the NBA is very, very small. The only teams you really see it with are the Lakers, the Celtics, the Knicks, and the 76ers. Besides that, you may get a little bit with the Thunder. You may get a little bit with the Spurs. But for the most part, you're just a fan of that specific player. So tribalism is out. You don't really have a real team you're going to really be a diehard fan for. In the NFL, you got 32 of them. You got 32 of them. So NBA, you got to learn how to fight fire with fire. You got to learn how to schedule correctly. You got to know the matchups that need to be highly regarded, heated rivalry, stuff like that. You have to take account of that. The NFL, they are the masters at that. They are the masters at that. They're like on WWE levels at that, where they know how to do matchups. They know how to get your eyes on the TV screen, whether it's with the performance or whether it's with a certain matchup. The NBA has a problem, and they do not know how to do that, and I do not know why. Even when it's given to you on a fucking golden platter, excuse my language, and they refuse to do that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
We'll see, brother. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we know what's going to see. NFL going to be doing 20, 25, 30 million, while the
And they're
NBA
on
is doing
Netflix.
4, 3, and all that.
And two of those games on Netflix, the other one on Amazon Prime. So,
but you got the NBC, you got the NBC network.
Yeah.
Like, you don't give the NBC network no games. It's all on ABC, which is cool. All right, a one-stop shop with all the NBA games. That's cool. But my God, bro, like, come on, be better with these matchups. My God. Like, you trying to put everything in the NBA Cup. You're trying to do everything in this fucking Euro League that you want to start, which makes no sense at all. I'm not a fan at that. I'm really not a fan at that at all. Because now you're slowing down the process with the expansion teams out here in Vegas and Seattle, two cities that are in thriving to get NBA teams who I think will be great at getting teams. Then you can rearrange the goddamn conferences to make it even look way better, way cleaner. There's no reason why Memphis and Minnesota is not on the East Coast or New Orleans. Why is New Orleans in the West? That makes no sense. You put those teams in the West and you move Memphis and New Orleans to the East, and it makes just more logical, geographically sense. But yet you want to start a Euro League in Europe who already has a Euro League, unless you're telling me you're going to buy that Euro League, which makes no sense at all. But you go ahead and do that. You go ahead and do that. Like, the way the NBA is being ran just makes no sense to me. And if somebody can explain it, why they want to do that stuff, I get it. You want to try to, the European player is the better player in the sense, or whatever the hell it is. But, like, bro, the NBA is already international enough. Like, it makes more sense for the NFL to maybe start a league in Europe to try to make it more international than the NBA. NBA is already established internationally. What do they need that for? What do they need that for? Make your league better, because your league needs to be better. Not you establishing a newer league. Work on the league you need to work on now, because it's not perfect right now. And it has its issues and its problems, but you refuse to do that. You just, let's just make this new league in Europe. All right, bro. I'm sorry. I'm done.
It's all good, brother. I know you're passionate. I know you're passionate about the NBA. So, all right, man. It's been a little bit of breaking news. NCAA college football, AP Associated Press, they just dropped their top 25 teams.
Yeah.
I'm going to read them off to you. Texas is number 1, Penn State number 2, Ohio State number 3, Clemson number 4, Georgia number 5, Notre Dame number 6, Oregon number 7, Alabama number 8, LSU number 9, Miami number 10, Arizona State 11, Illinois 12, South Carolina 13, Michigan 14, your Florida Gators at 15, SMU 16, K-State 17, Oklahoma at 18, Texas A&M 19, Indiana 20, Ole Miss 21, Iowa State at 22, Texas Tech 23, Tennessee 24, and Boise State at 25. So, how are you feeling about this top 25? Do you feel like they got it right?
I think with Nico leaving, I think it dropped Tennessee hella low. Yeah, I think if Nico was still there, I think you could easily say Tennessee is probably a top 10 team.
Yeah.
So I'm a little shocked at how low they are. Maybe they just really don't have that much confidence in the quarterback situation right now. I don't even know who the quarterback is over there.
I don't either.
But overall, I'm not mad at it. Honestly, it's hard to really tell if these are correct, initially. Right. I'm not mad at my Florida Gators being 15. I think we ended the year off hella good. But our schedule is brutal. So, I think 15 is fine. Michigan at 14, I'm not mad. Oregon at 7, I'm not mad. obviously, I think Texas should easily be number one. I think that team is just ultra talented. Obviously, the Manning era is in full effect. I think Penn State has a really solid squad. I personally probably would have Clemson over Ohio State just because of the quarterback situation. I get it; they still have Jeremiah Smith, but they did lose quite an amount of players, especially on that defensive side. They still have Caleb Downs and all that as far as like in the backfield, but they did lose a lot of players. I know they're stacked as far as like the rotation of talent that comes into that squad.
Right.
But I probably would have flipped those two. Honestly, I might have Ohio State at 6, me personally, because I think Notre Dame should probably be a little higher. I think just move Ohio State to 6 and move everybody up, and then I'll be cool at that. I think
Yeah.
I think that puts them at a fair. I think Ohio State being at 6 is not the disrespect. I still think they're going to be a top team. I still think they're going to be competing for a national championship. I'm just not sure as far as like the rotation of talent, who's in there, quarterback, and all that stuff like that. I just don't know. So, but overall, man, I'm not mad. Miami at 10. No, obviously, you got your boy there, so we got to see how it is.
Yeah,
But
boy.
Arizona State, yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm not mad. I said it's hard to kind of tell right now, but yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because there's a lot of turnover. Like Ohio State has a lot of turnover, like you said, especially at the most important position, quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They do have Carnell Tate, they do have Jeremiah Smith, but they are having turnover at running back. They lost both of
Yeah,
their running backs,
both of the running backs. Yeah,
Jungins and what's his name,
Henderson.
Henderson. Both of those guys accounted a lot for their offense last year. So you get a new running back, and I'm not saying they're not going to have a talented one, of course,
Yeah.
but they're losing that. They're losing some on the offensive line. They're losing, like you said, two stouts on the defensive line, and Sawyer and Suamoa, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Downs is a beast, but let's see how it looks without your two defensive linemen that were leaders on your defense too. So
Yeah, Jack Sawyer, I think, left too.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So those two guys. And then I'm with you. Clemson, you got Cade Kublik, who's looking at to be a possible first round quarterback, but that defensive line is going to be lethal this year with Peter
Mm-hmm.
Woods and Barrett and Parker, and you got what's your name's brother, AJ Terrell's brother. He's out there playing corner. You got the kid Antonio Williams, who's looked at as be a top pick as far as wide receiver this in next year's draft. So Clemson might make some noise, and they made your boy Dabo Swinney getting that transfer board.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he added some more wet bullets in the gun. So
yeah.
so Clemson looks. I wouldn't be mad if they had moved up to number 3. Personally, that's
Yeah.
my because Penn State, they're getting so much back. You got Nick Singleton, who's going to be a good running back. He's looking to be a first round running back. Their defense is still good. They got some
Drew
receivers
Allard.
over there. Yeah, they got some transfer portal receivers coming in too. Drew, like you said, Drew Allard, he's coming to reclaim his spot as far as a top quarterback coming out next year. So, and this is the year for James Franklin. He's going to have to show improve. I think that as much as he makes it, he I think this
he has
good.
he has to make the national championship game.
Yeah.
He has to make the national championship game this year. There's
I
no
wouldn't-
excuses for him. Yeah, his team is too good.
And I think that if he doesn't, then
I
he
think you're
might
gonna hear some noise. Yeah, I think
he
you're gonna
might
have.
be out of there. He might be
Yeah.
out of there. Yeah, I'm with you, Notre Dame. They're having turnover at quarterback, but Jeremiah Love is the best running back coming
And
out.
their defense is gonna be really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, Marcus Freeman, that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does. So
Yeah.
their defense is always going to be good.
Mhm.
It's just really can they maximize more? No disrespect for Riley Leonard. It's just that Riley Leonard, he couldn't throw the football down the field. Let's just call it what it is. He wasn't a throw. He was a runner. And if they can get somebody who could threaten to throw the football down the field, Notre Dame could be something. They made it to the national championship off the backs of that defense and that running game. And Love wasn't even fully healthy. So if we can get a fully healthy Jeremiah Love with that defense and a quarterback who can make big plays when we need you to make big plays, Notre Dame can possibly win a national championship this year.
Yeah.
Alabama's going to be interesting. They're always going to have talent there, Alabama. But the quarterback position, can they same thing? Can they maximize? Can they get something more that Jalen Milroy couldn't give them? And that's consistency at the quarterback position. If they can get that, Alabama could be right back there. I know a lot of people are down on Kellen DeBoer, but I just think it was his first year. He had to get his people in there. I think he's finally going to get his quarterback in there to play the position and move forward. Somebody who actually throw the football down the field, respectfully to Jalen Milroy. But LSU, Gus, I know he's dealing with a leg injury, so we'll see how much that affects them. But if Gus Nussmeier can do something this year, um, they can be right there in there. Brian, what's the coach's name?
For who?
LSU.
Oh,
Brian, I forgot his last name,
what's my
but
man's name? He's
he's also going to be on the hot seat because they, he's coming from Notre Dame to LSU.
Brian
He
Kelly. Brian
Brian
Kelly.
Kelly, his he's supposed to be a highly touted coach, and you going to LSU, you're supposed to have more talent than what you're supposed to have at Notre Dame, and now you see Notre Dame go to the national championship with Marcus Freeman. It's like now they're gonna be looking at you like, all right,
Yeah.
man, was it you the reason why Notre Dame couldn't make it? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Like, have you watched that SEC thing on
no,
Netflix?
I haven't seen it.
So I watched the first. I watched the first couple of episodes. It's actually pretty good. But the first episode was pretty much a lot on Brian Kelly, and you know how they talked about like that year where they had Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and all them, and their offense was explosive, but that defense was terrible, and just the amount of pressure that Brian Kelly's on. You know what I mean? Like you coming from when Ed Orgeron won that national championship. You know what I mean? It wasn't Brian Kelly; it was Ed Orgeron that won it.
Yeah.
And he got fired 2 years later. So, and I'm sure Brian Kelly's probably more expensive than Ed Orgeron. So he has a lot of pressure on him, just like James Franklin does. Whether it's right or wrong, I get it. You know, James Franklin is always consistent. He always will have his teams competing, but he needs to kind of get over the hump, especially with this team. Quick question: are there any teams? I know it's kind of on the fly, but are there any teams that you think that could potentially make it into the top 25 this year that aren't in the top 25?
I'm always gonna go with home, UNLV. I think
Yeah,
UNLV has a chance,
UNLV.
especially if they compete with Boise State.
Yeah.
Now, Boise State has that quarterback that's coming out really highly touted, but they're missing Ashton Genty, and they're gonna have to replace that because he was their offense. You know what I'm saying? We saw that in the championship game in the second half when they were shutting down setting down Genty. UNLV had a chance to win that game. It was just my man Malik kind of folded.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that game.
That was probably his worst game
His
all
worst
year.
game of the season. Like
Yeah.
if he had played how he been playing, UNLV would have won that game. They would have went to the playoffs that year.
100%.
So, but I think UNLV with Dan Mullins, I think a lot of people got their eyes on Dan Mullen this year. They just want to see it, but he's got a lot of turnover on that roster. He's bringing a lot of the guys that he knows from SEC and other highly talented programs and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what my Missouri Tigers can do this year. Their defense should be better this year. We'll see what that quarterback coming from Penn State, what he can do. A lot of people love Brady Cook, so he's going to have to fill those shoes of what Brady Cook left behind. Life after Luther Burden, maybe they feel a little bit more fresh and they don't have to feel like they got to get the ball to Luther Burden's hands, and they got a little bit more wide range of weapons, the running game and the receivers around them. So we'll see what Eli Drink's. Drink's got a lot of pressure on him too. You know what I'm saying? Like last year was high expectations for Missouri, and they well underachieved last year. So we'll see. South Carolina, Lenore Sellers. Can you take this team can you start off strong? They ended strong, but can they start off strong from the gate and be a viable contender in the SEC this year? You got that kid, Nick Neighbor, who I always say that, he's, you hear all this measurable 6'5", 240 pounds, speed out the wazoo, like 4.3 speed. But we really never see it on the field. We never really see him getting big numbers. Like you hear those measurements, dog. It's like, all right, I want to see it on the field. So we'll see if they get him more incorporated this year. This is his junior year, so we gotta see what he could do this year. Your Florida Gators, of course, DJ Legway. You guys added some talent on that Florida team. Can y'all make some noise? Y'all made some noise at the latter part of the season once he started playing, and your boy Graham Martz looked horrible in preseason. I just want to say that right now.
He ain't my boy. I was never a fan of him. Nice dude, seemed like a nice cat, but I was never a fan of Graham Mertz.
Terrible.
He's not. I just don't think he's a good quarterback.
But. So yeah, we gotta see what South Carolina, Michigan. I mean, your Florida Gators. We gotta see how they do. You know what I'm saying, with DJ Legway as the starter. I know he's dealing with a leg injury. See how fast he recovers from that. But like you said, you guys got a gauntlet. But if you can go out there and win a lot of those games, People are going to be looking at Florida like, all right, we got to pay attention to Florida this year as far
Yeah.
as possibly national championships. You
Nah,
know
if
what I'm
we can get out of that schedule with only like 2 losses, I think we'll be a top. I think we have a really good shot. You know what I mean? So
saying? I also look at Arizona State. I think Arizona State should probably be in the top 10. I would actually have Arizona State over Miami because I don't know what you're
I
going
was
to
gonna
get.
say the same thing. I was just like, it's so early. I was like, whatever. But I honestly agree with you.
Yeah, I mean Carson Beck, I get it. He's coming from Georgia, but he didn't. He left Georgia for a reason.
Yeah, they replaced him for a reason.
Yeah, he left for a reason. So I got to see if he's cleaned up some of those bad picks that he used to throw at Georgia that would keep Georgia in games that they probably shouldn't have no business being in. So I got to see it. I think Arizona State, they're bringing back a lot of their players except for Cam Scatterbull, but they're bringing back the receiver that they were missing. Their top receiver was out for the playoffs. So if he comes back and he looks like how he was looking, then Arizona State could possibly make some noise in the playoffs this year. So Michigan, they got that rookie Underwood. I think it's Underwood. I think his last name is.
Mhm.
Um, we got to see what he could do. We got to see what he could do this year. Can he take Michigan? And that was their problem last year, quarterback, because their defense was still good, their running game was still good. It was just they didn't have a quarterback. They kept switching from Osorio, I think his name is, and the other guy. It was a bad, bad as far as the quarterback goes for Michigan, and they still beat Ohio State, which is makes it even more crazy. So,
Yeah.
and then K State, Avery Johnson, can he do something this year? Can that kid at the quarterback can he make some noise this year? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And Texas A&M, another team. You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma, like all these teams. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna really be looking at these teams, but I think they got the top 25 right.
Yeah, yeah, like UNLV, I agree. It's kind of funny how they call our roster like the last chance you roster, which I think is kind of hilarious, but I think it's hilarious. But I think we do got a lot of obviously a lot of transfers, but they're coming from big time programs, so I'm be very curious on that. The two teams I think that could potentially crack the top 25, I think both come from the ACC, and I think that's Florida State and Georgia Tech. I think both of those teams can do it. Like you got Castellanos, he's going to be the new quarterback. Y'all know I'm not a big DJ. I can't even say his last name. I'm not going to disrespect his last name. But I wasn't a really fan when he was involved with Florida State, and I think you kind of saw it. And I just think the confidence level of Florida State just kind of just dwindled with him being the quarterback. And I just think that's how the slow start started. And then Georgia Tech, I think that's a tough team. I love King as a quarterback. He's a very physical quarterback. He runs the football, and I think he could throw the football, give him some explosiveness down the field. I know they've been kind of known for their triple back kind of like system, just running the ball, but I think they have some explosiveness there, and I think they played a lot of tough games last year where they competed. So I think those are two teams that could potentially crack the top 25.
Also, Colorado, we got to see what they
Yeah,
can
we got to see
do.
what's up, Colorado. I'm very excited to see how they do. Nico at UCLA. I'm very curious to
Mhm.
see how he looks over at UCLA. Obviously, with Leonard Riley. What's my man's coach name from USC? What's his name?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. I don't know why I said Leonard, but yeah, Lincoln Riley. There's a lot of pressure with him and USC. You got to see how they produce. Oregon off that disappointing loss with Ohio State and how they got dog walked off the field. How highly motivated are they? I know they're a high top 25 team right now, but let's see how they respond to that. You know what I mean? Dylan Gabriel is not their quarterback. I'm curious who the quarterback is over there.
Then they got somebody transferred over.
Yeah, so I'm be very curious about them. I think Oregon could be a factor in the national championship as far as that. But man, my Florida Gators, I'm super excited to see DJ Lagway. I think he said he's pretty much good as far as like with his leg injury. I think a lot of that was just more of a precautionary thing, but it's gonna be a long drawn out season. But I'm super excited to get this stuff weeked off. I think UNLV kicks off in 2 weeks. They play the 23rd, so season's coming around the corner. So
definitely excited for college football.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mom. You went to the movies yesterday and saw a movie
I did.
that's very highly touted. Weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Give us your non-spoiler, but give us your movie review. How did you feel about the movie, sir?
I really enjoyed the movie, man. I thought the ending was really satisfying. It took a lot of weird turns. I loved how they kind of laid it out. They kind of had like different chapters amongst different people. Like it'll show like one person, it kind of shows like up to a certain point, and then it would kind of pause and then start a new chapter like that. I thought the antagonist was was evil. You know what I mean? It came out the woodworks. It was nothing that I think you kind of expected. It kind of gave you a little bit of long legs vibes a little bit as far as like the antagonist that's in there. But I thought all the actors did it really well. You kind of saw the suffering and just kind of like the evolution of it. I ain't gonna lie, there were some funny parts in the movie, surprisingly, that people will be kind of surprised about.
I
Like,
heard that. I heard
yeah,
that this
yeah, a
movie
lot of
was
people were
funny
laughing at, like, especially like the end. It was kind of hilarious, but it was kind of like funny, but not in a way where it ruined the movie. But it was kind of like just like funny because like damn, like that was kind of like just hilarious and just how it went about, and it was just kind of like just a like you were happy with the ending. Like I don't think it would be an ending that you would be upset about. But there were some moments in there. I think there were definitely some jump scares in that moment, just kind of like how the whole thing went about and the children going missing. Because basically it's pretty much about how these 18 kids go missing and stuff like that. And there's one kid that didn't go missing. And it's just the evolution of the story, and then just how everything fits and how they kind of cross over certain storylines, and like how this interaction end up getting to this reaction, and it was a dope movie. I wasn't bored at all. I highly liked it. I would definitely give it like a 9.5 for sure. I think it's definitely one of the better movies I saw this year for sure. So I recommend it. I think if you like that kind of genre, as far as like, kind of like a crime thriller, but still has some like horror aspects to it, I think you will vibe to it.
for sure. For sure. I'm gonna check it out. All right, man. Let's talk about the NFC East division. We did the AFC East on Wednesday, so let's talk about how we think this order is gonna go. And I'm gonna go first again.
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go first again. So I got the Eagles winning. I know I said I Commanders, but I'm just not feeling right about this Terry McLaurin thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with, and I know Landon Dickerson, they just reported it might be a meniscus injury. They still can second opinion, but I still think the Eagles will be fine. You know what I'm saying? Their GM always finds stars and players to just fit their system, and they just keep going. So I think the Eagles are going to go 13-4 this year. I got them winning the division, but I think the Washington Commanders are going to be right there at 12-5. I actually got the Cowboys going 10-7 this year, and then I got the Giants going 9-8.
Okay. I think the Eagles are probably just the more talented team out of everybody, even with the Lander Dickinson injury. I think they're just ultra talented. So I got them winning the division. I got the Commanders at number 2. The Terry McLaurin thing does still make me a little nervous, but I think eventually that they're going to have to get this deal done because it just only makes sense. I think what they're doing, it like the whole logic on how they went about this Terry McLaurin thing just doesn't make sense at all. It's not like Jaden Daniels is about to get a big time contract. I think he's still like a couple years away from that anyway. So, hey, Terry, get it over with. He's your number one weapon. I think Terry and Debo tag team would work really well together. But if you take one of them out, I think it would affect more so Debo than it would Terry if one of them is not there. So I don't see Debo as like the deep threat like Terry is. And I think that could have some effect on that offense. I'm going to surprise you, man. I ain't going to lie.
You got the Giants?
I got the Giants 3, bro. I just think that defensive line is just so nasty. And then when you really look at it talent-wise, Giants aren't really that far behind the Cowboys. I think you could low-key say they might be a little bit better talent-wise, especially on that defensive side. Like offensively, like, yeah, okay, Dak Prescott is probably the better quarterback, but Malik Neighbors and CeeDee Lamb, you can probably say that's probably a cancel right there. Running back-wise, you got to give the nod over to Tracy Jr. I think he's the better running back than anything that the Cowboys have. Offensive line, you probably would give it probably more so to the Cowboys than the Giants. That might be something.
I don't know, because what's the name? They lost they left guard. Guyton?
Oh, they lost their left guard?
Guyton, I think.
I didn't know that.
Tackle or guard, one of the two. He's out for the season. I think he tore his ACL. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, well, then you got to slide that to the Giants. The D
line. You know what? She might be right.
The D line goes to the Giants. I think the cornerback situation is. You could go either way. I don't think the Cowboys is any better. You can probably say that's a toss up right there.
They got Siobhan Revel, didn't they?
They did, but they still getting cooked. They still getting cooked.
Bland, yeah, because Bland, he's
he like, and then Diggs is more of an opportunistic cornerback. He can't
Him and
cover.
Blandard.
Yeah, they're not really cover corners. Like they can get you picks. Like if somebody throws a bad ball, like the ball's gonna go your way. But if they don't get that, they're not really
smoked.
Yeah, they're getting cooked. So you could probably say if you want to side with the Giants, you probably could say that too. So when you think about it in that sense, I think the Giants are the third best team in this division. Me personally, so I'm gonna go with the Giants, and then I'm gonna go with the Cowboys 4. I just don't know what the Cowboys are. I don't know what the Cowboys want to be. Like, yeah, you do got George Pickens, and yeah, you do got CD Lamb. You still got to figure out your running game situation. You got a new head coach that people weren't really fond over. You got this whole Micah Parsons situation that's kind of just ruined the whole mojo and vibe of this team. I just don't know. So, that's gonna be how my order is this year.
Yeah, you might have made me switch. I might take the Giants at 10-7 and Cowboys 9-8.
Yeah, man. I'll just say
because really the Cowboys might be the same boat as the Bengals because they might have a better defense, a little bit slightly better than B, but their offense is always gonna put up points. But
I said the Cowboys are an opportunistic defense. Like if they could get the turnovers, then yeah. But if that team is down, like there's no
they got to play. They definitely
play with the lead.
They have to definitely play with the lead.
They got to play with the lead. But then you're asking Dak Prescott to be perfect, and Dak Prescott's not going to be perfect. And then on top of that, you don't have a consistent running game that you can honestly trust. You really don't.
You got to hope Javonte Williams can get back to what he was.
And I hope he does. Like I was really a big fan of Javonte when he was with the Denver Broncos. I thought he was going to be a top 10 running back consistently. But with that knee injury, like he hasn't been able. Obviously, it was his first year coming back from that knee injury, so we got to see how the second year he responds to that. Now, if he can produce to anything, then yeah, we can have a conversation and maybe switching that back to the Cowboys being third. But I have to see a lot from the Cowboys. I'm just not going to put all my trust into CeeDee Lamb, Dak, and George Pickens. Like. And then on top of that, you may or may not have Micah. That doesn't sit well with me. And then on top of that, I don't know what this coach is going to be able to do and if he can lead a group of men and get them to the position that they are in. So, and then we all expect George Pickens to blow his top by week 3. So what's going to happen with that situation starts popping up when he doesn't get the ball. So,
yeah, for sure. All right, man. Are you ready to do this draft order?
Yeah, man. We're going to do it old school. I'm not going to do the generator. I'm not going to do your wheel. I'm not doing that, man.
Oh, man. We're going to do it. We're good TV right there.
Nah, man. This is good TV right here. Old school, names in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if I can fix this camera real quick. All right. So no one's cheating. So I want to give a shout out to everybody. We got Mason. I don't know if you can see that, Mason. Can you see that? Mason. I know it's not reverted, but Mondale's son, he's in it. So we got your name right here. Mondale, we got you right here, my boy. Mondale. I know it's a little rip, but Mondale right here. Mondale. Maul right here. Dino, shout out to Dino, man. He was able to get us our 10, so definitely want to show him some love, man. So shout out to Dino, man, for real, man. Much love to you, my brother. Marcus, the man that's gonna provide us his house, man, for the festivities, man. Should be a good time, man. So shout out to Marcus for that. He didn't have to do that, but shout out to him. Much love to you. The legendary Carlito, my guy. One of my favorite bartenders in Aria, man. Shout out to you, my boy.
Shout out to
Carlito, good guy, good brother. This guy right here, you know, if you like him, you like him, man. Cris. Cris, man. If you like him, you like him. Nah, man. I'm just fucking with you. That's my brother, man. Brother for life, man. Shout out to my brother right here, Cris. Got you right here. My other brother from another mother, my man Morgan. Shout out to my boy Morgan, a.k.a. DJ Technicolor, a.k.a. he got 15 jobs, CEOs of everything, man. Shout out to you. Again, Morgan gets an automatic top 3 pick, so he's not going to be an initial drawing just yet. Shout out to my man Miguel. In it again, man. Shout out to my boy Miguel, man. He is gonna be his second year in the thing, second annual. And then shout out to the legendary Rodney, man. Minnesota boys. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. So, all right, man. We're gonna fold up these names, man. Tight. So we don't know what's up. Don't know what's up. How you feeling, man? Where do you think where would you like to be as far as like
either somewhere in the top or at the bottom?
Yeah, so we're going to do this backwards. We're going to go from 10 to 1 because of the whole Morgan situation. So we're going to go from 10 to 1. So the first name will be number 10. And again, we're doing a snake draft. Our draft is going to be August 31st. Probably do it around 7:30 And again, shout out to Marcus, man, for providing the home. And then we're all gonna have a good time, man. Some food, some drinks, man. I got to get the board too, so I got to order that too this week. So, all right. So, how you feeling going into the new year, man? With fantasy, man. You got a strategy yet? You got some players you're keeping your eye on, man? Or are you just gonna kind of go with the flow, man?
I'm just gonna do my thing like I always do, brother.
Oh yes, all right. I mean, at least
I did my first draft yesterday.
how did that go?
I like my team.
Who's your team? Who's on your team? Tell us your team, man. While I'm doing this,
I gotta pull it up. Shout out to my boy Wisdom. So I got Dak Prescott. I got Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Xavier Worthy, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, Ramondre Stevenson. I got your kicker. I got the Giants defense. And then my backup, I got Jordan Love, Charbonnet, Travis Etienne, Javante Williams, Josh Downs, Debo Samuels, Kyle Williams, and Goddard.
it's not a bad team.
Yeah.
All right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys. You ready? See, we're shaking it up. No cheating. Some people thought I was cheating last year. No cheating, no cheating, no cheating. All right, man. For the number 10 pick in this year's Alibi Fantasy League, who do we got? First name. First name. First name. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Rodney, you're number 10, sir. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? It's kind of blurry.
It's blurred, but whatever.
All right. Rodney, number 10, sir. So you late, but at least you get back-to-back picks, man. So that's a solid. That's solid, man. That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 9. Number 9. Number 9. I'm looking up as I pick it. I ain't even looking down. So number 9 goes to newcomer Dino. Shout out to Dino. Number 9. Shout out to Dino. Number 9. All right. Next up. Cris. Number 8.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah.
All right, he ain't happy about it, but we'll see.
It's all right.
All right, next up. Who do we got? Number 7 goes to. Damn, how's I fold this shit? Number 7 goes to Carlito. Carlito goes to number 7. Shake it up. All right. Number 6 goes to all right, Mondale. Mondeezy. Hope you're doing well, brother. I know you had surgery. So Mondale, number 6. All right, here we go. Number 5. We got what the fuck? Mondale's son. We got Mason. Shout out to Mondale's son. All right. Number 4. People still gonna be thinking I'm cheating, dog. I don't know.
Yeah, because you guys about to be number one.
No, I'm not, dog. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm not. All right, number 4 goes to. Come on, bro. Me, Maul. Number 4. Number 4. All right, so now we will add Morgan. We'll add Morgan. We'll add Morgan right here. That says Morgan. Morgan. We'll add him to the thing. All right. All right, shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up. All right. All right, number 3 goes to Miguel. Miguel, you are number 3 pick in this year's draft. Shout out to you, my boy. All right, who will be the number 1? Who's left? Who's left?
Marcus and Morgan.
Marcus and Morgan. Who will get the number 1 pick? And Jamar Chase. Because we all know it should be Jamar Chase. Or not. You don't have to get Jamar Chase. Leave him at number 4 to me. Please do.
That's not happening.
Morgan, you are the number 2 pick, which means congratulations to Marcus.
It's rigged because it's going at Marcus's house.
Shout out to Marcus. You are the number 1 overall pick in this year's Alibi draft, man. Shout out to everybody who is involved. Congratulations to Marcus for the number 1 pick. Congrats to Morgan for winning the consolation bracket last year to get a top 3 pick. Same thing, make sure y'all have your money ready by the draft night. And we're gonna have a good time, man. It's gonna be a great year, man. PPR year, PPR. Everything's gonna remain the same. Scoring's gonna remain the same. I'm not really gonna change anything as far as like on that spectrum. Teams are gonna be the same. So yeah, man. Good luck to everybody, man, and see y'all August 31st, man. So shout out to everybody.
For sure. So Marcus, Morgan, Miguel, you, Mason, Mandel, Carlito, me, Dino, and Rodney.
Yes.
For sure. All right, man. You got anything else?
Do I have anything else? No. Camera back on me. Nah, man. I really don't have anything else, man. Enjoy the rest of this day, man. If I gotta go back to work. Virtuoso week.
Yeah, it's gonna be busy. It's definitely gonna be busy.
Yeah, sure.
All right, man. Who gets your flowers of the week?
Flowers of the week. Man, who gets flowers? Damn, who's the flowers? Oh, didn't you want to talk about the UFC deal or no?
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. Go ahead and talk.
I just remember that. So UFC, obviously, they signed a new deal with Paramount. I think it's like a $7 billion deal for the next, 7 years or something like that, 5 years, something like that. Where they're going to be the destination for all UFC fights. They even acknowledged that there will be no more pay-per-view models, which was kind of already established with the great Turk Al-Sheikh, man, where he kind of already did that. So, hey, pioneer, man. That's why he a Hall of Famer, bro. But yeah, man, I think that was the bigger news of that. So obviously everything will go through Paramount now. They were originally on ESPN, but we all knew that deal was coming up this summer, end of the year. So I think starting in 2026, everything will be through Paramount Plus. Obviously, there's been a lot of deals going on from the NFL going to ESPN and WWE going to ESPN, now UFC going to Paramount. I think the big thing now is I think we're getting away from this pay-per-view era that we've been all known and accustomed to with bigger fights. I think now it's just going to be like a one-stop shop where you're going to have to pay a membership fee for the month and stuff like that. Obviously, I do expect these membership fees to get a little bit more expensive because that just comes with the case when new deals and stuff like that come involved. But it'll be dope, man, to get actual big-time pay-per-view fights that would normally be on pay-per-view. Like maybe it might come on to CBS one time, put it on, because I think it's healthy for any of these boxing organizations, especially like boxing, where I think it would be dope to have some of these big time fights like on a regular cable channel, if it's possible, you know what I mean, or a Netflix or anything that is, owned by a lot of people. So I think this is huge for the fighting business. Now, does this model help or hurt these UFC fighters getting paid more money? I think that's probably the next conversation that needs to be discussed with this deal, because obviously the big thing with a lot of these UFC fighters is that a lot of them think they don't get paid well enough. And then obviously with boxing, we all know kind of the model that they are. They used to get a lot of the money from pay-per-view sales and all that. Now do they get a lot of stuff from views and stuff that comes on through these Netflix deals and stuff like that? That's another question. I think this Canelo Crawford thing would be kind of interesting. Maybe if we can get some more inner linings on how their contracts are constructed as far as like how they get the money. Is it just like Turk Al-Sheikh is just paying them, and them and Netflix is paying them straight out, or is this part of how many eyes they are expecting to get for said event? I think that would be an interesting thing that maybe could be the format on how a lot of these fighters are going to get paid for these fights. But I think overall this is great for us fighting fans because now it could be easier access and hopefully maybe less of a wallet hit to watch some of our big time and favorite fighters for some of the bigger events. So
Yeah, I was actually surprised that they went over to CBS. I thought they was gonna fall in line and go to ESPN, stay on ESPN.
I
But
think they hate each other though. I think
yeah,
that
I
relationship has been.
I see. So they went over to Paramount and they're doing their thing over there. And hey man, shout out to UFC. They're gonna bring a crowd wherever they go. So people love UFC fights. They're quick, they're fast. You're guaranteed at least one or two knockouts every card. So
Mhm.
people love, even the casuals, they love it. So shout out to UFC, man. I'm not the biggest UFC guy. I respect it. I saw a knockout this past weekend where a dude gave him the knee of the NyQuil knee.
Mhm.
Black dude just caught him right there on the jaw and
Yeah.
knocked his
Yeah.
ass out. So you always see those type of clips and be like, damn. But shout out to all the fans out there. You gotta get that Paramount now.
Yeah. What do you think
Yeah.
about this pay-per-view model getting eliminated? It seems like we're getting away from all that.
It's been inevitable, man. That was gonna happen. So one stop shop. More people are gonna watch the pay per views now because of that, or the big fights now because of that. So they don't have to pay $79.99 or $49.99. They could just pay the membership, and I'm guaranteed to watch all the big fights, big cards, and even the cards that are not the big ones, but still you're a fan of it. You're a big fan of whether you're UFC or boxing or whatever. Now you could just watch it. You know what I'm saying, and watch your fights, whatever. So
What
that's
do you
good.
think is? What do you think the estimation on how many people will watch the Crawford Canelo fight? How many odds do you think is capable of getting to?
I think you can get close to 1 billion.
Think so?
hmm Especially it's on Netflix and it's affordable. Like it's not some, you know, because that pay per view is gonna be like close to $100. If
Oh,
it
if
was,
it was a pay per view, yeah,
yeah,
that would have easily been $100 pay per view.
yeah,
I definitely think it's gonna well over exceed 100 million people. I think
yeah,
so. I
yeah.
think so.
It's gonna be up there because people want to see all the Mexicans that love Canelo. They're gonna watch it. Even some black people that love Canelo, and then people are gonna see if Crawford can pull it off. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think this is a big fight for the fighting world. I think UFC fighters are even intrigued in it. I think
Mhm.
they obviously, I think wrestling fans, I think they're becoming more aware of the Canelo Crawford fight because of just a connection with them and Netflix. And you have seen promotions within WWE with the Canelo and Crawford fight, so you even got that fan base that potentially could have eyes on it. We saw the numbers that Jake Paul did, and those weren't even real boxers. So what do you think with the names of Canelo and Crawford, the two biggest names in boxing currently right now? That's not named maybe Tyson Fury or Usyk or anything like that, or maybe anyway. These are the two biggest names in boxing that are coming together, man. I think this definitely could easily hit a well over 100 million and maybe even double, triple, or quadruple that. You know what I mean? So I think this
Yeah,
this could be great times for boxers out there because now a lot of these fighters that weren't household names are going to start becoming household names, and when you become a household name, your wallets are going to be a lot more fatter.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But
And it helps the sport too. Makes it more.
yeah, it does, it does. But shout out to UFC, man,
Yeah, for
getting
sure.
that money.
Yeah, man.
All right, so you seem like you ain't had no flowers.
Flowers, man. Flowers. I'm just gonna give it to everybody, man, who's out there doing positivity. Flowers to all the kids starting their new school years, man. Hopefully, y'all have a great year. Hopefully, positivity, great young minds being established within our communities. Um, yeah, prayers out to anybody that's going through anything negatively, health wise, and all that. Me and Chris send our blessings and positive energy to y'all. I know times are getting a little crazy out there, a little rough, man, for certain people. I know there's been some, questions on how our future is going to look. With everything that's going on in this crazy world, man. So, prayers out to everybody, man, and just sending love and positivity to everybody that's out there. Appreciate everybody who's watching, anybody who comments, whether it's a mean comment, positive comment, man. We send none but love. We appreciate all eyes that are on this podcast. Me and Chris are just trying to do something that we love, and hopefully it takes us somewhere that we can all live our dreams out, man, and just do what we want to do. So, prayers out, peace and love to everybody, man. So,
Yeah, for sure. I'm a echo those sentiments with the kids going back to school. Um, I know my lady, her son's going back to school today. He's a junior in high school, so shout out to him. Shout
yeah,
out to
shout out to
Brian,
him.
doing his thing. My daughter, she lives in Virginia. It's my youngest daughter, Stormy. She's her last year, so she'll be going back to school in Virginia. I think they go back in a couple weeks, so she'll be starting her last year in high school, and starting her road to adulthood. So shout out to my baby girl. I also want to show love to Asia Wilson, the first player to get 30 and 20, 32 points, 20 rebounds. She's still one of the best in the league. I don't care anybody say. I know Nafisha Collier is doing her thing. She's hurt right now, but I know she's doing her thing this year. But Asia's the best. I don't care what anybody say. And I also want to show my flowers to the Little League, Summerlin baseball team. They made the World Series. They did their thing the other day, beating Utah 6-3, and they're on their way to the Little League World Series. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to him. Oh, I actually do have another set of flowers. I do also want to send my love and condolences to a close personal friend, family member. She's like an aunt to me. She lost her sister this past week. I do want to send my love and condolences to her and her family, man. You were a big part in my life and helping me become who I am. You're a big part of our family. I will be there at the services on Saturday, so I do want to share my love for her and her family as well.
Yeah, I also bad on me forget this. Today was my great aunt Barbara's funeral. She passed away a couple weeks ago. I'm sure my father's out there, and my aunties and all them. They're at the funeral back in KC. She was, I always loved my aunt Barbara. Her and my grandmother were like two peas in a pod. So she's up there with my grandmother now. They probably up there partying right now. So blessings to my aunt Barbara, and prayers to all the family back home. You know what I'm saying? That's dealing with this. Hope God, consoles y'all and gets y'all through this tough time.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah, tell people you love them, man, because
yeah,
hey, trust me, you get reminded. It's sad you get reminded. You know what I mean? Going, me personally, dealing with a lot of death this year, man. So,
mhm.
tell the people you love them, man. You love them, tell them you love them, man. Because at the end of the day, we just do not know when God is going to call us and our time is going to happen, man. So just take every day, enjoy it, love it, do what you want to do, live the best lives, make the best memories with the people that you love, man. Because here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Who this year?
Hell nah. Man, just this has been a lot of negative things going on in this world, man. I'm not gonna get into specifics, but um, it feels like we're heading back to old times to certain degrees, man. With just certain rhetoric, certain inflammatory statements. I hope people find peace, but just whoever is out there, just bullying, tormenting, saying evil stuff, trying to change ways and back to the old days, not respecting cultures, not respecting communities. I think it's very easy to be a good person, but anybody who's not, you got people out here killing people, you got people out here doing senseless crimes and stuff like that. Those people get my hell no's, man. A lot of these politicians, I'm not gonna get into political rant or anything like that, but it's getting to a point where it's just like we gotta get back to just humanity, man. I feel like I keep saying this once a month, but it's getting to the point where you have to kind of keep reminding people that humanity is a good thing. Um, what I mean? You're hearing crazy stuff about dudes dragging dogs and burning them alive, and kids getting hurt, and communities getting disrespected, racism rants and taunts, and culture changes. So yeah, man, all those people, man, who are contributing to that, man, y'all get the biggest hell nods, man, because there's just it just gets to a point, man, where it's not even necessary anymore, man. We got to find positivity in this world, and hopefully we can get back to it.
My hell no goes to wrestler Gunther.
Oh yeah, you been wanting to talk about this. Yeah, go
If
for it.
you're a wrestling fan, you know Gunther. He just had a match with CM Punk. He lost his world championship to Gunther, but he was on the 6 Feet Deep podcast with Undertaker, and he was talking about how a fan he did a meet and greet, and a woman who was a big fan of his drove 9 hours to come see him, and he told her that you need to do more. You need to use your time more wisely. Said thank you, I appreciate it, but you need to use your time more wise. And he said that he would hope that with his kids, that the people that they are, idolize, that if they did something like that, they would tell them the same thing. Gunther, my man, I don't know, I don't think you were trying to play up as far as being kayfabe with the heel. I think you were talking real talk. And the lady walked off sad, like, come on, man. Somebody drove 9 hours to come see your ass, and that's what you tell them? Like, bro, that I don't know what was going on with you on that day, man, but maybe you was having a bad day or something. But a fan drives 9 hours to come see me. I'm gonna show appreciation for that. And you got to be a little bit more appreciative, man. Because I don't, like I said, I don't think you was trying to play kayfabe. I think you were just being yourself. So I think that you was just talking like you looked at that woman, you judged that woman for driving 9 hours to come see you. And shout out to that lady, man. That's why they say never meet your heroes, man. So you get the biggest hell no from me.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got somebody who's willing to go out their day and time to even go out there and meet you. Like, people don't have to do that. Like, you can be a nobody quick.
But it's a
You know what I
meet
mean?
and greet. So first of all, you even if you are playing up to your heel, you're doing a meet and greet.
Yeah.
So you're willing to meet people, take pictures, sign their autographs and memorabilia and all that stuff. And this lady drives 9 hours because she's a huge fan of you, and you tell her you wasted your time, girl.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. For a meet and greet, I would get it if it was just like, oh, like
Random,
just
yeah.
like a random, like, oh, I heard he's out there. Let me see if I can go meet him type stuff. Then it's like, all right, like chill. Like, there's better things to do out your day. Um, but yeah, like a meet and greet where you got a schedule, you got people coming out here just to show you love. And I'm like, you should be honored by that. You know what I mean? It's hard to get people to become fans of yours. Like, you know what I mean? Like me and Chris understand that every day. Like trying to build this thing up, man, where it's like people can do whatever they want throughout their entire days, man. Like, just you popping in for 5 minutes, man, that's love to me. You know what I mean? So if you're willing to drive 9 hours out of your life to come meet me, and it's gonna make the highlight of your year or your day, like, man, that should make you want to smile. That should you want to kill somebody's moment like that. You know what I mean? That's how it's like when you're a celebrity and all that. I get it. There are moments where, maybe you don't want to be bothered and stuff like that. And I get it. People get burnt out with everything and just the constant of just, people want to be in your face. People want to take pictures and stuff like that. But again, it's an honor and a privilege sometimes to be in that moment, to be in that particular situation, because you could be that person that went to try to go meet somebody else, you know what I mean, who's not in the best situation. But for them to meet you, you can change a lot of people's perspectives on just human beings and just being a fan of somebody, man. We see it every day, man, with just how certain people react to meeting their favorite artist, basketball player, whoever the case may be. And for you feeling that, man, that's just, it kind of shows who you are as a person at the end of the day. Me personally, what I mean, it's kind of like the person that treats a person that is your server, and you treat them like they ain't nothing, like you're lower tier. That to me, that just shows you the type of person you are, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
Yeah.
shout out to her, though, man. Hopefully she
Yeah.
don't get too down about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
All right, man. Another good show in the books. Look at the screen, people. look at the screen, you'll see the QR code for our WWE shop. Scan it, go to it, get your latest WWE merch. Stephanie Rollins, Cody Rose, John Cena, Steve Owens, Jay Uso, Jay Uso, and all various other cast characters. Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Jay Parker, all of them. Wherever your cup of tea, your flavor is for WWE superstars, villains, and you should get upgraded with merch. And if you want to donate to the Chris Alamo podcast, you can donate to our cash app, uh, Chris Mall Podcast. We would really appreciate whatever you feel like you donate to. Or whatever streaming platform you want to use, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, Chris Alamo Podcast available. First time watch on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and notification button so we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday nights. Jump in the live, talk about these topics we want to hear. We want to get your opinion. Agree with us, disagree with us. We want to hear from you. Yeah, give us your opinion. We want to hear. You listen on the playback, put it in the comments. Whatever social media platform you use, X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you use with your social media, follow us at this. And we'll follow you back with some regular guys like sports. All kinds of various things. Go ahead and hit us up. If you have feedback or critiques, or if you have a question that you want us to bring up on the show, we will bring up the top. We'll shout you out because we want to show you those emotions we know to us. So hit us up via All right, good people. Until Wednesday, I hope you guys have a good rest of your few days. Be safe out here. Be good. Maybe I'll play more on Madden today and jump on some sticks.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's see. He said he was gonna do it. You know, what I mean, he said he was gonna run. We're gonna run two quick games, one with our teams and then one with randoms. If we do, check out my Twitch. I'll make sure to be live when we do that. And if we do live, we'll post it on our Twitter. So we'll find out here shortly if he's gonna be about it or not. So shout out to everybody, man, who watched. And again, congratulations to Marcus for being the number one overall pick. We will post it again. Watch. All right, put it in the chat. Watch the stream. I'll eventually post the order in the chat, but make sure y'all go check it out so you know nobody was cheating. Everything was live. Chris can attest to it. Everything was legit. So
for sure. Yeah. See y'all on Wednesday.
yep.